Yo, yo, yo. What is up, everybody? OCD Mikey Hi-Fi Guy here for another edition of the Mikey live stream show where you all get to call in and talk and ask questions and all that kind of stuff about hi-fi audio speaker systems, whatever you want to call it, whatever you call them. I am the man. Just to make it clear to everybody, I'm a dealer. I sell you hi-fi. Just in case there's any confusion there, that's my job in life, is to sell you all awesome audio systems and be the one guy that makes it happen for you, the one guy that gets you across the line, that one person that just finally gives you what you've been hoping for with high-end audio. That's me. So we are stacking up. We're going to let some people stack up. Today is my feedback from the Dallas audio show. I'm going to turn this down because my mic is a little closer. From the Dallas audio show, I can come in and get real all like, hey, man. From the Dallas audio show, and let you guys kind of ask me questions. You know, that's kind of the format that I like, that works best, is because I have so much shit to say that it's just best for you guys to ask questions and pull it out of me rather than me just go off, because maybe I start talking about stuff that you don't want to talk about. You never know. So Dave is on. What's up, Dave? How are you, buddy? Good to see you. He's Hi-Fi Tribe in Bakersfield, California. David, what is up? Our man in Norway. There you go. He corrected himself. The spelling. Good evening, Shane. How are you? He's our Geelong, Australia. Dude, I met a guy from Australia who lived up he told me where Gold Coast is what he said. And he was there trying to sell some speakers that he was making, but he was prematurely there. He didn't really have all his stuff together. He didn't have a business card, he didn't have a website. He did have some speakers, and he had an amp that was halfway working. That was like not a good amp. I told him, don't demo with that thing, man, because people are not going to like it. I told him about you and Kenny and had him subscribe to your channels. I said, get in touch with these guys. These guys are good guys down under. Greetings, David. Look at David Bissinger. I met David. What was it, yesterday, Dave? I believe it was yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday. At breakfast, he walked up and was like, hey, I know you crazy, wacky guy. Turns out we both had lived in Minnesota at one point, and he knew where I grew up. He knew the town. And so made a new friend. Thanks for joining, David. Appreciate it. Tommy Clark. Whoa, Tuesday Curveball. Nice to see you back in the studio. Yeah. Is today Tuesday? Yeah. No, today's Monday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Monday. This is a Monday Curveball, T-Bird. We're not quite to Tuesday yet. You confused me there. It's a Monday curveball because normally I do this on Sundays, but I was out at a Michelin recommended steakhouse last night, and we finally hit it. We finally hit pay dirt with the steakhouse. We'd gotten some other ones that were really good, but none were truly like the holy shit level, right? When I go out to eat, and especially if I'm gonna splurge and eat, beef or steak or something, I gotta move something. I want that at holy shit level. And finally, last night we got holy shit level. So it was great. They had their own beef program, where they grow their own beef, and they it's a hybrid of a Wagyu and an Angus. So it was more marbled than an Angus would normally be, because Anguses are kind of lean. And had a ribeye, a center cut ribeye, which was delicious. What were the best speakers? Come on. Okay, so here's the thing. You can't put it on the speakers, right? Because we could have had the best speakers with shitty amps and we didn't hear the speakers, or we had shitty speakers with great amps. When you go into a room at these shows, all that you can judge is, can this mofo make a hotel room sound good? Can this dealer or this manufacturer, do they know how to drop into a shit ass hotel room and make it sound kick ass? That's all you can judge. Who's got a kick ass recipe this year or this show? Who put the right shit together and did the right room? So one of my favorite rooms was the Von Schweikert room with um Rockna and Westminster Labs. So it was a team thing with all those companies. Just because it was probably one of my favorite, it was definitely one of my favorite rooms, does not mean that Von Schweikert's are my favorite speakers. So you can't pin it on any one thing. But the room was done well. Now, granted, this room had subs at the back of the room to offset and cancel bass. So they had fixed bass with bass canceling subs at the back of the room. So they implemented that very well. So what that told us is, okay, whoever set this room up knew what they were doing. They did a great room setup. So, and then we had Avant-Garde, which I always tell you I love Avant-Garde. It's always a great room for me. And they had the Duo GTs, I believe. Big red, like they look like tubas, right? And red and dual subs and actively powered. And but you get to that room and the streamer is not working or the internet's not working. So all they've got is this very small collection of CD rips that are on the wife's, laptop or something like that. So we're working with an extremely limited amount of tunes in an otherwise fantastic room. So people could have gone into I heard a couple of people that went into that room and said, oh, they were just playing some really slow music. It wasn't, I couldn't really tell. And I know I went down there. It sounded like it was George Michael or something like that. And not even a tune that you knew, like a ballad of some sort, just weird, offhanded, weird shit. So it's hard to, what is playing. And when you go in and listen has a great, it matters a lot as to how you perceive the sound. If it's a song that you can't stand or a musician that you can't stand, you're going to say the sound sucks in that room. If it's a song that you totally dig, an otherwise regular system might sound fantastic to you. So you have to realize that. The Zeloton room was good. Excuse me. Pull away from while I do that. This thing's too sensitive. The Zeloton room was good. And they had Solution, I believe was their amp in there. Very visceral. So that room kind of got the number one spot for visceral impact. There was, what other rooms? Rockport was good. Rockport is almost always good. I like Rockport speakers. That was a good room. And then there was a lot of poor rooms, a lot of ones that they didn't hit it off, that you came in and you're like, oh my God, listen to that mid bass bloom or that boomy bass or that dark, veiled sound. I had one of the tribe members that met up with me on Sunday when it was a ghost town in the show. So we were able to go place to place and I could bring him in each place and then have them play the same song. We used Chris Isaak, Wicked Game, right? Very well-known song. Okay. So, and we would go into each room and it would sound different in each room. And I could tell him, here's what's happening in this room. There's a mid-range glare. Do you hear that? It's mid-range forward, and we're getting a little bit of a glare on the vocal. It's a little bit forward. We went into another one, totally veiled. Can you hear how the vocal is back? Or another one, which was Vitas and YG Acoustics, that was like hollow sounding. It was sucked out in the in the mid-range somehow. It was just not mid-range forward. It was mid-range sucked out or back. And and he asked me, well, how much of this is the room and how much of this the system? And I'm like, I have no idea. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are badass enough to come in and set up a rig that sounds badass. We all have the same shitty rooms to deal with. Some of us know how to overcome rooms in situations, others don't, and others maybe think it sounds great, or whatever. Um, so there was that. So it's to pick the best speakers. My favorite speakers are Fisher and Fisher, hands down, but Fisher and Fisher were not there. Um, so that's the whole deal about the rooms. We came here to live vicariously through Mikey. Tell us how the show was. So the show was poorly attended, in my opinion, and this is my opinion. And remember, this is the perception of one person. I think I'm getting a little pop there. This is the perception. This is the, that toned it out a little bit. This is the perception. That's a little too much out. This is the perception of one person. I want a little bit more. This is the perception of one person, and it's my perception. So just keep that in mind. Everybody hears things differently, but or perceives things differently, right? I thought the show was poorly attended. I thought it was it gave me concern for where these shows are going. It was absolutely better in every way than Florida, in my opinion. Okay. I doubt I'll go back to Florida. I think I'm done with that show. The rooms, everybody brought their A game. So at this show, the dealers brought their A game. I saw a lot of well done rooms, and meaning they just put effort into it. You went into the room and you could tell they put effort into it. Even the rooms that didn't sound good, there was definite effort put into the rooms. They had candy, they had coffee, chocolates, cookies, whatever. Like they made the effort, plants, all sorts of stuff. And of course, the venue's great. It's a beautiful, big, beautiful venue. So the venue's great. The rooms were very, were good. A game rooms for the most part, poorly attended. So I felt bad for the exhibitors. I don't know how much, they each pay. I know it's a pain in the ass to come there and to have, not that many people come through. It's got to be kind of a bummer. Now, I did hear people saying, well, there may not have been a lot of people that came through, but the people that came through were higher qualified, meaning they had more interested buyers. Now, having somebody tell you that they want to buy something and actually making a sale are two completely different things. I've had a lot of guys come up to me at the show. Oh, yeah, I'd like to get a pair of those. Even some people that say, I want to come back and buy them at the show, and then they don't. So a lot of times they're just, whatever, saying whatever to try and, make you feel good, or who knows, whatever. So leads and sales are different, things. So, but I did hear some people say that. I felt a little concerned for where the shows are going. That was my feeling overall. Like, there's definitely an expiry date on this shit for sure. So my best part of the show, the funnest part of the show for me was the dinners, going out to dinners and having great conversations and laughing and hearing stories. We had dinners on 2 nights with Angie from American Sound, and Angie's been around forever. She's been around since her 20s in this industry selling. And so we were able to jog her memory and get some great stories out of her, and so it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I met some tribes people come along for the dinners, we met Rami. If you're watching, what's up, Ram? Good to see you. Good to meet you. And some other people. I met a handful of people. So all in all, it was a great venue. The dealers brought their A game. They worked hard for it. It was poorly attended, in my opinion. Um, and that's it. That's kind of how I felt about it. Favorite room was probably, I'd have to say, the von Schweikert, Rockna, Westminster Labs, Gary Leeds room, just because I think it was the most well put together. Everything was done right. The Sonic was they fixed that room. They had it dialed. What can I say? And again, doesn't mean that those are the best speakers. Doesn't mean that that's a great deck. Doesn't mean that those are great amps. It means they, you know, I mean, obviously it has to be good stuff, or you couldn't make good sound. But those were the guys that pulled it off this show, where it stood out. And there were some big failures. I went into a room that had $500,000 cables, $1 million system, and it was very lackluster. And you're like, holy shit, is this what they're peddling to people that are spending $1 million? So um it's not much different than it ever has been. It just seems like there's less and less people going to these things. That's all I notice. Yeah, David. Did Danny come or not? Danny did not have a room, but Danny did show up, and I knew I'd bump into him and probably Ron Bernay following along with him, which I did. And I said, Danny, let's take a picture with you having me in a headlock, and Big John will be have Bernay behind in a headlock, and let's take a pic. That shit will be funny. Okay, this is how I am for you guys. I want to entertain you guys. Wouldn't you guys think that shit's funny? Wouldn't you like click on a video? You go, look at this crazy shit. They're brawling. It would look funny. It would obviously be put on, because I'm going to be looking up like, and Danny's going to have me in a headlock, So I thought it would be funny, because to me, this is all what we do here on this YouTube thing is it's in many ways we're playing a character on TV. So they got real serious when they saw me. I said that, and they were like, well, no, it's not cool. Like, that's what Danny was like, no, it's not cool, man. Doing that, it's not good for the industry, and it's not, and I was like, okay, let me hear you out. Let me hear you out, man. I gave him the respect to hear him out. And then he went into some things. I said, I mean, the bottom line is I'd love to hear your stuff, but I'm not going to drive 2 hours to go hear your thing, man. Like, it would be nice to have your room here. I said, for Christ's sake, bring a Wilson that you fixed, and play the Wilsons that you fixed, so people could go and hear the regular Wilsons and then the ones you fixed. I mean, what a thing to do, That's maybe what I would do. But anyways, and then he went into why some of the things that happened, and why, and I got to tell you, I'm a good judge of character right off the bat. I've got good street smarts, and Danny's not a bad guy. No, Danny's not a bad guy. He seems, as you know, we are all selling you something on YouTube. Whether these guys want to admit it or not, everybody is freaking selling. They like to say Mikey's is a sales channel and I'm just a review channel. That's bullshit. You're selling advertising then if you're a review channel, or you're helping out your buddy's brand. And so you're pimping his shit, even if you're not getting paid. It doesn't matter. You're still pimping his shit using your platform and your influence. So everybody's selling. I'm the guy that tells you up front, I'm here to sell you. Okay. So there's no misunderstanding. Other people will, I'm here to, I don't know, help you, or help the poor people, or help the, whatever it is, whatever. And it doesn't matter. Everybody can do their own thing. But so after meeting Danny and talking with him, I'm like, okay, so he's a good guy. He's leveling with me. He's talking to me. He's looking me in the eye. We're being present with one another. He's, I can feel his vibration. He's got a good heart. He doesn't mean anything bad. Yes, he's a marketer. Who gives a shit? But Danny, on a personal level, my first feeling was, okay, he's a cool guy. Like Danny. Now, Ron may be a cool guy. Okay. But Ron fucking looked like he wanted to kill me. Okay. Ron had the stare of death in his eye. And I even went over, put my hand on Ron's shoulder and said, lighten up, dude. Like relax, bro. You don't need to look at me like that, you know? Like he truly was staring at me like ready to fight. I'm like, dude, this is hi-fi, bro. This is music. This is hi-fi. This is not war. This is not politics. This is not, we fight each other, we punch each other, we do shit like that. Like it's not even anywhere close to that serious. Okay. Um, and so, but he was serious, really until he asked Danny at one point, Danny, are we cool? Are you cool with Mikey? Like, is everything cool here? And Danny said, yeah. And then Ron was like, okay, I can talk to you now. So I'm like, okay, dude, like, okay, you know, um, so I think congratulations to those guys for doing a good job. That's what I said to Ron. Congratulations for doing a big job, because Ron has done a big job. He built a room, and a sound shed, I think he calls it. It's a steel building that he fitted out for hi-fi. And what's great about rooms like that is you can put a freaking Denon tune box in there, and it's you're gonna be blown away. And so you put a really good expensive system in there, and then it's really, really good, right? But the benefit of having a room that's $100,000 plus build, is things are going to sound really good. Almost stuff that normally wouldn't is going to sound great in that room. And some of the people went, some of my tribe members went to his room. I think Big J went, and I talked and asked him, and people were impressed and thought that Ron did a great job with his room. So kudos to Ron. Ronnie, if you want to call me sometime and let me know that you don't have some weird vendetta, like resentment or something, feel free. I'm an easy guy, bro. I do this for fun. Okay. This is not serious shit. I call people out. I talk shit. Definitely. Okay. But I do it in a fun spirit. It's never serious for me. Even when Jay and I were locking horns, when I was saying, trophy hi-fi is bullshit, right when he's making trophy hi-fi videos, right? I know he knows I'm making videos going directly against what he is making videos against. But there's absolutely zero animosity. When I see Jay, we are cool, because what we do on YouTube is YouTube, man. It's not personal, right? It's what we do as our media outlet, or as our job, if you will. This is not necessarily my job as much as it may be some of the other guys that have, it's obvious whose job it is. Their videos are much better. They have many more viewers, because that's their job, is to get subscribers and to be popular on YouTube. What's interesting is the guys that are most popular are not always the ones that are the most experienced. They are, however, the most popular on YouTube. So that's great if you're getting advertising money and stuff like that, because you can be more relevant to to advertisers or something like that. But when anybody that walks around the show with me will understand my relevance to the industry by the amount of people that I know well, the amount of people that give me a hug, that I know that I've been to their house, I've been to Japan at their place, I've been to wherever, because I've been doing this 25 years. So all it takes is walk around with me a little bit at a show, and you'll instantly know my level of connections and depth and friendships and relationships, and it's broad and deep. However, I have 30,000 on my YouTube. I'm very experienced, but I don't have this huge YouTube channel, because I don't put as much into it. I just do videos like this, right? But you're going to get the real. And when you guys want to ask questions, you can ask questions, and I'll answer them direct. And I'm not, I'm just a regular dude that this is my living, How are the Akora marble speakers? They are not as good as Fisher and Fisher. That's I was comparing them to Fisher and Fisher because they're Fisher and Fisher priced. Um, Fisher price. That sounds silly. Um, they are the same price level, right? So it's going after an entry level with I think they're 11 or they I don't know how much they are. I can't remember. Somebody said they might have been 20. Um, they have Accuton drivers, which the Accuton drivers do have a certain sound to them. Where they're kind of can be a little accurate and lean somewhat. They definitely it's not the same type of sound as Fisher and Fisher. They're pretty. They were beautiful, beautiful looking speaker. Um, beautiful looking speaker, but I think I've got it beat at that I just think I've got it beat. Um, and the marble ones are the smaller ones. The bigger ones are granite. So I assume you're talking about the little ones. What was the thing you liked the most? The dinner. What was the thing you liked the most? I know what you're asking. You're asking what audio product did I like the most? Um, if you're gonna make me pin it on one thing, it would probably be the Avant-Garde Duo GT. The big ass avant-gardes, man. I wanted to play with those things. Like I knew that they were operating on banded knee, but I'm like, man, let me loose with those things and some tunes, and we would have a effing party in this place. Like this shit would be lit up on fire. And I think Todd would too, quite frankly, if Todd had if they had internet and stuff, but they were in kind of on banded knee, if you will, or kind of in a compromised position. Um so but those things got me intrigued. Like I want to mess with those things. I want to push them. I want to prod them. I want to find what they're made of because I know they have a lot to give. Those are bad daddies, you know. They're wicked. They're intense, man. That's some shit. And the MBL was cool. They had the Extreme MBL rig there, which is fun to see the MBL Extreme rig. Um that's fun. Um and I love Jeremy and Tara, two really good people. They're good ones, you know. Uh yeah, so if you want me to pin it on one thing, then I pin it on one. What's up, Harsha? My favorite Brahmin. How are you, buddy? Good to see you, man. Harsha just got a Hulk, man. We're talking about watches. Harsha just got a beautiful Rolex Hulk. He waited a good long time to get that piece. He's got some good taste. He's got a lot of watches, man. All he'd have to do is sell half his watch collection. He could easily do it because he's got probably 50 watches. He could sell half his damn watch collection and but he thinks a $26,000 DAC is ridiculous. It's funny, I laugh. He's got a $1,500 Chinese DAC, yet he buys Rolex and he has 50 watches, but he doesn't want to spend on a DAC. We'll get you to go over the edge, Harsha. One day, brother. One day, it's gonna be a slow chisel at your ankle, and I'll get there. And it's not like I'm trying to sell you something, but I just want you to come to Jesus one moment, or whatever. Come to Krishna, come to whoever, man, you know, um, and join my cult, man. Did you get a chance to listen to the Rel 6-piece stack? Yes, I did in several rooms. And it was, yeah, it was I still think two pieces of the I don't even know what they are, carbon whatever's carbon extreme, carbon pro, carbon whatever the F. Just two of them is all you need with those Rels, man. The six packs can be too much, too boomy. Um, um, or just throw it off in a weird way. I will add something about Rel, however, and tell you that we had a demonstration from Isaac Moskovitz. And Isaac, he's a ponytailed young guy. He's a scientist. So he's super smart and compelling. I love the way this guy's mind works. He's a neuroscientist. So he told us some cool shit, man. Anyways, first, let me start with the first thing. He told us, well, he did this demonstration, okay, with harmonica. So some blues players just playing harmonica and singing, and there's no other band, right? So it's all mid-range and high frequency, you would think. And he takes the Rel subs, which he had a pair of, I don't know what they were, 12-inch, maybe they were bigger. I don't know what the hell, okay, but they were 2 Rel subs. And he took them in and he took them out, and he took them in and he took them out, on and off, whatever, unplugged them, plugged them in. And even on this thing where there was a harmonica and nothing else, it significantly improved it when he put the subwoofers in, and there was no bass even playing. It's the weirdest thing. So it was like I was becoming sold, I was like, Jesus, like I have a bias against this brand, and this guy's like converting me right here, you know. However, okay, so there's a couple caveats to this. He was using YG Acoustics speakers, which, in my opinion, I've never heard YG Acoustics sound good. I can put it with Magico, I think, is even better than YG Acoustics. I think YG Acoustics would be underneath Wilson and Magico for me, just in how they sound. I think they're weak. I don't think they have bass. I think they're just kind of weak speakers. And again, my stupid opinion, I'm just another dork, right? I'm just a guy with my own perception. And so I even asked Isaac, I said, well, Isaac, what it makes me feel like is, look how shitty these speakers are. They need these subs to be even playing harmonica, And then he had a way to explain it. And he had a way of explaining the high level hookup where you go with the Rels and you hook them up into from an amp off the speaker binding post or off the back of the speaker to the subwoofer, which I think is cockamamie way to hook up subs. And he explained it about propagation delay and how that when you run it through another thing, you can get a delay. And I'll have to dig into this more. But it made sense all of a sudden. All of a sudden, this hookup thing that I thought was just a marketing scheme, all of a sudden finally made sense to me. Nobody has ever, and even Rel guys, when I talked to Rel guys, did not put it across the way Isaac did. And I got it. He said one sentence. All he had to do was say 2 words, propagation delay. And it like covered everything, a soup to nuts, I spoke with the rep. They're willing to send me some to listen. So I may put some in and play with them and just check it out, just to monkey around. But in my opinion, okay, here's how I kind of feel. Could they improve my speakers? I'm sure they could. Could they improve Fisher and Fisher? Let's say the end all be all, like I say, right? Like I think they're so great. Could they improve the Fisher and Fishers? Very possibly they could, but do they need to improve the Fisher and Fishers? So let me give you an example or a metaphor. You've got a brand new Porsche 911 Turbo S, right? Can you improve that Turbo S? Sure, you could put a, stainless steel 3-inch Borla exhaust or whatever. I'm just making this shit up, right? You could put, OZ rims that are carbon fiber rims. You could put, carbon brakes, which it probably already comes with, but yeah, you could make it more intense. But would you ever need to? The thing already does 0 to 60 in 2.9, and it's all-wheel drive, and it's a freaking badass. Can you make it better? Yes, but would you want to? So that's where I feel it might land with Rel and Fisher. Like, could you make it better? Yes, you can, but do you miss it if it's not there? Probably not, I would think, but I'd have to try. And again, I'd be honest. So that was I know that was a little side discussion about Rel. And it wasn't directly related to the 6-pack, but Isaac Moskovitz and Rel made an impression on me. And I really liked Isaac. I'm like, this dude's cool. I want to bring him with us to a dinner conversation some night because we started talking, dude. He started telling, man, he was speaking my language. He told me you feel bass frequency with the femur of your leg. And this is a scientist guy, so he knows this shit. He's like, there is a white paper written in a study done in 92 by Professor blah blah blah. Like he knows all this shit, right? And they studied and they did and they had a control and they did and they found through measurement that you only with your ears you only hear from this frequency to this frequency, and then below that you read it with your femur of your leg. I'm like, dude, that is badass. I can totally get it. Like I talk about the skin surface sometimes to you guys. I say the rig was so good or so dynamic. Like Dave Olson, he's right up right now. He's asking, he's the one that asked this question. Dave Olson has a system that's so dynamic. He's got the Rel R1s and the SPA8, the giant, humongous 400-pound Playback Designs amp, and he's got the full Playback Designs front end, the SACD player, all that shit. When you play his system, you freaking feel it on every hair follicle of your body. I'm not kidding you. And it doesn't mean that it's that loud. I just mean it seizes the air like that. It every little piece just pushes the molecules in the air, so you feel it hit your skin surface. You feel it move. I could feel it moving the hairs on my head. I could feel it moving the hairs on my I don't even have hair on my arms. Look, I was showing the microphone again, but I can feel it on my skin surface. So the whole leg femur thing, I was like, okay, cool. I don't feel like such a kook telling people that you don't always hear with your ears, So when people say, well, the human ear can't hear, you probably can't hear past 14,000, and it's like, well, my ears can't, but my skin feels it. I still get the experience. Maybe my ear isn't reading those high frequencies, but my body is reading them, so very interesting. So go see Isaac. He's a ponytail, long curly hair ponytail guy with glasses. Talk to him. He's in the Rel. He'll be in the Rel room. You'll see him in the Rel room. Special birthday edition show. What is for you, Harsha? You know what? It was Alberto's wife's birthday on 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Harsha. Everybody say happy birthday to Harsha, our tribe Brahmin. He's the Brahmin. You're the Brahmin of the tribe now, dude. You cemented that whole thing. At Neil K. Granite, no. He's asking about the Acora acoustics. Acora made an entry-level speaker out of marble. And not the granite. Now, I'm guessing the marble that was at the show is an Italian marble. That shit did not look like your regular white ass builder grade fucking, vanity in your bathroom, right? It looked badass. Like that is some high level marble. So I doubt that those had to have a premium on them for that level of stone, and marble sounds different. And I don't know. And they did sound a little different than his other stuff. I didn't see Val. Did I see Val? Yes, I did shortly. But the big Acora room didn't get me. I think the little room I liked better, but then I compared the little room upstairs. They had the marble ones in the big room off to the side. They were just spitty sounding. It was just spitty, spit, whereas the Fishers have all the leading edge definition, but they're not spitty. They're smooth. Eric Rhodes says that he heard there was fewer people this year than the last year in Dallas. It felt like it, bro, which is really weird. It felt like it. It was a very strange vibe because the rooms, I'm telling you, the people went the extra mile. It's like everybody talked to each other and they're like, or people wanted to do a good job because the rooms, it was noticeable. I kept going, Jesus, like everybody put a lot of effort into this shit. Like the rooms all look really nice. They all got nice signage. They've all got the bowl, the plants, the bowl of candy or chocolates or coffee or cookies or, whatever. They all did that, and everybody was friendly, and so yeah, I was looking down at Tom saying, "You look a bit tired, my man." I get it. I am a bit tired, dude. It was I got up early this morning. They have a new line in which they're marble and much more affordable. Yes, but again, Fisher is a better sound. Did just ask yourself, did David Chesky go in to Akora and talk about how great the room was? Maybe he did. But, you know, last show in Florida, we and well, I don't know if I can say this. I probably can't say it unless I ask first. But somebody like the Fishers better than um something else. I can't go into it. I can't go into it because I might be getting somebody in trouble. Um okay. Mikey, good to meet you this past weekend. Is this no, it's not Arun, it's AA. Hope to hear those Nat audio tubes one day soon, man. Then just holler. You can come by anytime. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. You bet. Shane, was that I don't know if that was to me or somebody else. You look a bit tired. I am a bit tired. Haha, 63. 6'3". What's that? Is that what you're telling us? Are you telling us? No, you weren't 63. You were in your 50s. You're a young dude. And you got a lot of energy. David's another dude that I want at a dinner. David, I want you at a dinner too, because this guy's his brain's going, man. His brain is going. This dude is clicked. It's switched on. I'll bet you're a runner or a bicyclist. He does something high energy because this guy's high energy. He's a sharp dude for sure. Conversation. You got to come with us next time, man, to the dinner. We'll get you and we'll get the neuroscientist Isaac, and we'll put together a great group for some awesome conversation. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Tribe. I sure wasn't impressed with the system that had $500,000 in cables. No magic for me. Okay, and you were there. I take it because you were there. Um, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, what it did is it just makes it obvious that those type of systems are for a different buyer, because it's not important how it sounds. If it just makes music, it doesn't matter. That's all it needs to do. It doesn't need to beat other things. And which is kind of like the oxymoron, or the whatever you'd call it, the little, the devil in the details, or the God's little joke, or whatever you want to call it, like it's like the most expensive systems, they don't need to sound good to sell. They don't need to sound good. It's not a requirement that it sound good, which is really funny. $100,000 system needs to freaking sound good, but $1 million system, it doesn't need to sound good. Doesn't that sound weird? But that is the truth. Mark and Moidle. Hey, Mikey and Tribe. What? No cowboy hat? I know. I almost went to get one, but I was like, you know what? I'll never wear it, and it would be sad. And knowing Mikey, I'll get a $500 cowboy hat. So I'll go spend 500 good bucks to get wear it one. But if I came to Dallas on the regular, I'd wear a hat, dude. I would rock a big ass black beaver. Should I just stop right there? Cowboy hat, for sure, man. Cowboy hats are cool as hell. I'm in awe at real cowboys. Like I'm like I'm seeing like something prehistoric or something. Not because it's old school, but just like something like that you don't see, because I don't see that here, right? I suppose in Texas you would, but like I told you this before, I'm just like, wow, a fucking real cowboy. What is up with these dudes? Like, I want to talk to them. Like, what's up? They love to have fun. So you should have stopped at Danny Ritchie's house before you came back. It's 2 hours away, brother. Why am I going to do that? Why am I going to do that? It doesn't, there's nothing. It doesn't serve me, to do that. I know that a lot of people like his speakers, because they buy them, you know, and I know it's going to most likely sound good. It would just give me an idea of what the type of sound was. But Danny's house. Danny is in flux. From what I hear, he's got a temporary listening room. He's also building, I think, an outbuilding like Ron did. So it's not exactly, I think, where full tilt for him. So I'd be going to his house, hearing something in a temporary setup, and it's just, I mean, or going to Ron's. They're right close to each other, but it's 2 hours away, bro. That's 4 hours. When am I going to do it? And even then, why? Because Danny's customers aren't my customers. They're two different customers and probably two different viewers. So really, if I went to Danny's and I was talking about what I saw in Danny's, it wouldn't be my core people that would be interested in what I was saying about Danny's rig. It would be fringe guys that are visiting from other groups, or whatever. But it's not the people that are my tribe, like my core tribe, are not interested in $3,500 speakers. They're just not. And I know he's got whatever in exoticas and different things, but it's just it's not it's a different vibration for a different client, you know. And so that's why I didn't take it serious, when I talk shit. And that's why, but what I found out is some people, they really take what I say extremely, heavy duty, so I'll lighten up. I mean, I understand Danny. After talking to Danny, I got respect for him as a man, and I understood him, and and I have respect for him after meeting him. I didn't up until I met him, and so I feel better. Ron, I still have to figure Ron out. I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy, but Jesus, man, like having a bulldog, dude. Like there was a bulldog on a leash right there. I was like, dude, chill out, man. If looks were daggers, man, I'd have been pilfered head to toe. Yes, and brunch, fancy Ed. I go. Fancy Ed, I go. What is that? That means you're gonna go? Yes, and brunch too. Hey, Mikey, how are you? I'm good. Johan, how are you, buddy? Edina Mikey, Burnsville Dave. There you go. Are you a hockey guy? No, you're not a hockey. You're not built like a hockey guy. You're built like a runner or a bicyclist, like a road biker. This guy's a fit cookie. We are in Australia, brother. You should have seen the pile of food he was eating too, David, man. Wow. I'm like, this guy's got to have a metabolism like faster than shit. He had his plate was piled with breakfast. I was like, holy shit. This guy probably burns calories like nothing. So that's why I'm like, he's got to be an athlete. He does something. He does runs or he bikes. We're in Australia, brother. It's Tuesday here. Oh, I got you. But I mean, but wasn't it somebody American that said Tuesday surprise? Um, what's up, Mikey and Tribers? Cheers, Luther. What's up, Luth? How are you, buddy? Tom Clark. Shoot, it's Monday. Damn, what the hell's wrong with me? Yeah. Okay, so it was Tom. Yeah. You must be here in Australia. Yeah, exactly. So Shane got it. I didn't. Hola, Mikey and Tribe. What's up, Bob? Buddy, we're on track, man. We're on track. I'm back now. Now my job is to get Bob's system all crated up and shipped out. And then I've got two other pairs of fishers that are going out, man. The 470 and another pair of 370. The 470 is going to Bob, and the 370 is going to Detroit, and then the 270 is going to Canada. Can't remember exactly where the 270 is going. Exactly where. I know who's getting it, but I don't remember where. Kevin West, San Solo. Thanks for the show coverage, Mikey. Looked like a great event. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't really do show coverage. So if you guys are looking for a channel to do show coverage, I don't do it. The other thing I don't do is I don't get paid to feature people. So that's another thing for you to realize is I'll just make a couple comments that were thoughts that I had. I saw another YouTuber that put out the 5 top rooms. Here's my 5 best picks for the show. And I looked at those rooms and I'm like, there's absolutely nobody else that I talked to that would agree that those were the best rooms. So it was painfully obvious either the guy's nepotism or connection or to the people that he's pimping, or he's getting paid by them, or they're his buddies and he's not getting paid. but it was like those definitely were not the best sounding rooms. Some of them were absolutely not. You're like, dude, how obvious could you be that you're trying to hook up your people? So this is the kind of thing. And I mean, how would you guys even know? All you just have to go with your gut. I guess you got to go with your gut. What's my gut feeling? What's my read on this guy? If it's all standing in there, and it's set up and, you know, then that's probably a paid for promotion. Um, I talked to somebody and I'll just clear it now. It's not Big J. So if you guys are thinking who said, you know, I do not, if you see me at a show, it's because somebody is paying me. Otherwise, I don't come to these freaking things. Okay, it wasn't Big J. But um, but Jay said, clear, that this is a business. It's serious for him. He's got a family. He's got a wife and a child and all that stuff to take care of. So it's business. Um, but somebody else that wasn't Jay said, if you see me here, it's because I'm getting paid. Somebody's paying me. So you know what their interest is. And if it's some person that has a camera, then okay, well, they're getting paid to make media, right? For certain people. Hey, Mikey, did you and your gal do the Texas two-step? No, we do the African bone dance, but we do that we do that back here. She didn't come with. Zeloton were nice with solution amps, absolutely. I agree. I think I may have said that originally. Now the Zeloton was very similar to like Fisher and Fisher. That and Rockport are probably two speakers that kind of stand out that sound sort of like Fisher and Fisher. If people want me to compare it to something. Alex, Venatio killed it for speakers that size. Venatio, who's that? Von Schweikert? I don't know. Speakers what size? And what's Venatio? Vanatu or something? Is that what you're trying to say? Or what was that one? You talking about the little micro speakers that were $700 for the whole system? I can't. I would have to go roll through these. Man, I've got. I'm not going to go into a real slime bag dealer and some shit that's going down. That's like, it's obvious the dealers that are still around, they're getting more than ever. And I had some old people in the industry tell me there are more. What was the word that was used? For lack of a better term, shitty dealers in the industry now than have ever been. Like known, do not, and I heard about this dealer from in the inside of the industry, another person on the inside that knows that has a lot of connections said that dealer, he's a known, what did he call it? A known do not a known avoid. A known avoid. So from a manufacturer standpoint, that seller is a known avoid. That dealer is known in the inside. Avoid him. Don't give him your brand. So I'll bet you there's probably a couple brands that say that about me too. But this guy's doing some slimy shit. Like I could tell you, and eventually I will tell you what the thing was, and you're like, no way. It's fraud. It's straight fraud. And you guys are the ones that are get the shaft on it. So I don't know what Venatio is or Venatio. Do they let you play your own music? In some rooms, yes. In some rooms, no, because they can't, like they might not be able to. But in most rooms, they're streaming and then they just hand you the tablet and you can just pick whatever the hell you want. That's the real way to do it, in my opinion, because otherwise they're controlling the rig and they're going to play the stuff that sounds the best on their rig. And most everything sounds good with vocal jazz. Everything will sound good, but you throw rock and roll on, you're going to instantly find the limitation. You throw Zeppelin on, or you throw there's certain songs that you can instantly expose a system, and in the kind of system that I want something that can play everything. So depending on my mood, no matter what it is, I can play everything. And you know what, Tom Clark, if you're still watching, tell you can type it in. You don't have to call in, but tell the people what you told me today about your mom. Maybe I can just say it to make it easy. Maybe I can just read it. Maybe I can just read the text. I'm gonna read you guys the text because this is pretty cool. Tom Clark. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here we go. Mom here to visit. Sat her down in front of the 570s. After a song, she requested another. Was blown away with the sound. I don't think my mom has sat down and listened to music that way in 50 years. And I said, oh, what a great story. And he said, yeah, it was cool. She's dealing with some health stuff, so real nice moment to have. Was really struck by her asking to hear another tune. Thanks for all the stuff from the show. So these are the kind of things. And then I had, and I should show you, I don't know if I can, yeah, I mean, it'll be okay because I'm going to show you something else. Here's the guy with the 670s. And he sent me, and it's going to be probably a shitty video because it came from an Apple iPhone. And you know, when Apple sends videos to Android, they always suck. So look, here's with the new babies, the women, little kids running around. There's dad, you know, or grandpa in this case. You know, there's the mom dancing and spinning. There's the mom's sister, I think it is. Can't remember who the other lady is, but spinning around with the babies. They're playing the 670s, Jeff Rowland 555. They're just having a good old time. Like the family is the activity is music listening. That is beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. That's what the systems that I build, that's what your system should do. Regardless who builds it, it should do that. But the Fisher and Fishers are, again, man, I can't say enough good things, so I just won't. So they should let you play your own music. Those are the cool rooms. Vanatu, there it goes. Killed it for speakers of that size. Were those the little guys that were $700 for the whole system? These speakers were teeny. They were micro speakers. And I'm pretty sure they were active. They're like this big, you know, little teeny weeny things. I'll show you. I got a picture of it. I think I even did a video. They're made in China, so I won't sell them, or I won't, you know, it's not my thing. Let's see, gallery. Come on, go to the top. Not my thing, but for anybody that's, you know, anybody that's listening right now and you're young, right, and you don't have the means yet, you haven't figured shit out. Oh, here's a good one. Check this out. Look who this is. First person who can name this guy wins a prize. I'm trying to make it focus on that. First, I don't know if you can see. You should get it but look at this. Look at the bling this guy's wearing. Can you even see what it says? You can see what it is. You're gonna know right now who that is. I'll tell you anyways. That's Noah Lee. He's the creator of Monster Cable. So I said hi to him. Got a pic with him just so I could show you guys. Where's the Vanatoodles? These things were cool. Okay. This was some innovation. This was called like Rizzi. This is a flat panel that board vibrates. That whole black part vibrates, and it's like foam core with a transducer on back, and then a little compression driver up in the corner. So that thing was neat. That was like the only innovative thing that I saw. Now it wasn't full hi-fi. There's it from the side. It wasn't full tilt high end at all, but it was cool to see. And they were from Uruguay. And it was cool to see that somebody was innovating and doing some shit. Okay, so here's the Vanatu. Can you see that? You see how little that teeny weeny thing is? And they have that. You can get 2 of those speakers and a subwoofer for $700. So, you know, whatever. Chi-fi little. But if you need to have a system for $700, then that's your one. Um, Here is this is also Chi-Fi, but they figured out a way to charge $20,000 for the speakers from the place that makes $700 speakers. I think it's masquerading as hi-fi. It that's a whole nother conversation, right? If it sounds like 20,000, that's in many ways an issue in some ways with the industry, is that people charge what they think it sounds based on the sound. So you can get some Chinese stuff that may sound really good, and they're priced the same as stuff from Denmark, but you're like, it costs, actually, there's a reason why it costs that much from Denmark or USA. Um, but not. Here's a pic. Here's a pic from us at dinner with Angie and Big John. I'm trying to get this thing to focus. It's always the hardest thing. I have to figure a way to like share these. Mikey, Angie, Andy. Come on, focus right there. Oh. Here's another one with all of us. Romil, but I'm calling you Rami. And Mikey and Angie, come on. I don't know what it focuses on. Like when it is focusing on my finger or something like that. There we go. Smoking stogies. Rami brought some. And this was a cool speaker, fully active, made by Avant-Garde. It's got EQ and all sorts of shit. It's a pretty cool speaker. I'd like to check those out. Here was the MBL room. Oh, no, that's not the big one. Audio Research is coming out with some new shit, and I might try it because I would just honestly, I would really like to see a resurgence in United States built audio. So I'm going to get some of this stuff to test out the solid state just to hear it. Here comes Tommy. Let's bring him on. Hey, Tom, welcome to the live stream, buddy.
Hey, dude. Thanks for mentioning my mom last night.
You bet, buddy.
I was really struck. I mean, it was a really nice moment. I don't really attach, my mom with being somebody who is really into music or would even appreciate this. She knew I had these speakers and really wanted to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I would just play something for like a minute and we'd be done.
How old is she?
She's like 80.
Oh, wow. Awesome. What did she ask to play?
I just threw on like Fleetwood Mac, Sarah, because I remember in the 70s she was into Fleetwood Mac, and then
nice.
And then at the end, she's totally into it. There's no talking or anything, and I was just struck by that. And then for her to ask for another song after, didn't expect that, so I just played like Storms from the Tusk album. But she was just locked in, and she's facing some health problems. We feel like we're on some borrowed time, and just to have that moment. But I was just struck by it. Sounds cheesy, but this whole thing that we're all into is so. How much does this cost, and how good is this one, and it's all this tech oriented stuff, and who's better and who's this, and I was just struck by that moment about how music and my setup really just brought a touching moment between people who care about each other, and I was really kind of blindsided by it, but it was a wonderful experience. And
isn't that amazing?
Yeah, so you sort of forget about how powerful music is and what
true.
it can do for people. So it was great.
That's great. Beautiful.
So
I
appreciate you mentioning it, and we lose track of that and all the rat race of getting something better and who's better and
I know. That's what like when I was talking about earlier, that whole, looking at you like they're going to kill you. I'm like, dude, this is, like, lighten up, man. This is not war. Yeah. This is just hi-fi. This is just music shit, stereo systems, it's just a stereo set, there's much more serious shit in life. Yeah. Save that for when you need that for something else, right? Not for this. But I can relate to that in many ways, because when I was my mom's caregiver for the last 30 days that she was alive, and she was here with me, and I would bring her out to my audio rig, wheel her in because she couldn't really walk. And we were listening to Shangri-La, Mark Knopfler, Shangri-La,
Mm.
and she really liked it. Yeah, man, and we would just sit and listen to tunes, and it made her feel good. So it's cool shit, man. It's
Yeah, and
touching.
I appreciate you bringing it up. It it just enhances the sense of community that you've helped create here, and
Yeah,
that we
buddy.
can share these things. But this sounds like I'm dissing on my mom, but I just didn't think she had it in her. I just never thought it was
If you
a
guys
thing for her.
have you guys ever seen what was it called? Something inside, alive inside. Um, it's a documentary about music and people with Alzheimer's, where they go
Mm.
into old folks' homes where they're Alzheimer's places, where the people like haven't talked, they're catatonic almost,
Yeah,
and they put these little headphones on their head and start playing music, and they just wake up, man. They come
yeah,
alive. And this one dude who hadn't talked in years, this old black dude, started talking. And they're like, oh my God, we've never heard him talk.
yeah,
Because he heard this music and his face lit up, man. He got a smile. He lit up. He was like, and he started like sort of bopping around, like it's amazing what music can do. Music is healing for sure.
yeah. And
Yeah.
these, as you know, these speakers sound fantastic. So
Yep.
that album Tuss sounds
I
fantastic,
know.
and
It's a
it was
killer
just
album, bro.
I just feel like my mom is doing so much for people over the decades that she has sort of neglected that side of her spirituality that music brings and stuff. And I just can't emphasize how big a moment and powerful it was, and,
That's
and
awesome, man. It's
unexpected. But
beautiful.
I'll treasure it because it was really great.
Bring her
So yeah,
back, man. Does she live close?
no, she lives in Maine, so she's just here
Oh,
for a week.
wow.
Yeah,
Other side of the
yeah.
planet.
So we're trying to go back and
Oh,
forth every
yeah.
few months because we're not sure how much
Get her
time
a
we have
little
left.
audio system at home, man. Even just a JBL tune box or something so she can
No,
listen to tunes.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Awesome.
anyway, I appreciate you bringing it up for everybody, and
You
that
bet,
there's
man.
a decent side beyond what we all chase our tails over
That's
in this
right,
stuff.
man.
So,
It's
all right,
beautiful.
Mikey,
All right,
appreciate
Tommy.
it.
Take care, man.
Yep, thank
Thanks
you.
for sharing. Okay, see ya. See ya. I love it when I say goodbye to people at the shows and they go, see ya. It's funny. I get a good kick out of that. Okay, not sure how or when it started, but my wife and I are now saying see ya. Look at that. I just said that. Saying see ya instead of good night. Oh, that's so funny. See ya. It's classic. It's funny. It's just like it makes people laugh. You say see ya when they take off, and everybody's gonna laugh. You're gonna get a good smile. And it's always good to leave people when you both are walking away, both with smiles on your face. It's the best way to say goodbye. See ya. I basically use my Watchdog's subwoofer to control an 80 hertz bump in my room. The Wilson Alexias do not need help in the lower octave. Yeah, it's interesting how you can utilize them that way. Hey, Mikey, what's up, David? Oh, yeah, okay. So you guys, I don't know if you guys saw David. You know what? Now that I got you here, buddy, I need you to release the copyright infringement thing that I got. The algorithm on YouTube picked up your damn music. You playing live your stuff you were playing live. It was able to pick that shit up and trigger a copyright and say you can't play this shit because it's David Gilden, whatever. So look in your emails, and you probably have something from YouTube. Tell them it's okay for him to like remove the copyright thing and let him play it, and then I can play the video, because otherwise they won't let me do it. But David plays the kora. I've told you guys all this time, David plays the kora. He came into Angie's room and played live for us the kora, which was beautiful. Man, David, you have a special kind of a brain to be able to play that thing. Okay, so if you guys can imagine, it's a gourd. It's a big gourd. It's an instrument, ancient African instrument. It's 21 strings. So it doesn't have like a guitar fretboard where you move your fingers up to make the different notes. Each string is tuned to a different note. and he's got to pluck combinations of strings. He doesn't move his hands up and down. He has to choose the proper strings to make the tune. So he's watching this shit, and we're watching him, and he's plucking strings one at a time and together to make chords, and it's amazing. Here's Dave from Bakersfield. What's up, Davey?
What's up? Hey, he's still on.
Yeah, man.
I'm
welcome,
sorry,
welcome to the stream.
Oh hell, I was in between. I had to turn it off a couple times, so I'm kind of in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you're kind of. I was just going to ask you about the rail stuff. So I guess we could do this in a more public event.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So he plays the harmonica part. Now, I didn't get as much out of it as you did because I didn't see it change as much. He did the same thing. Did he play like Lee Rittenhauer after that?
I don't know what he played, but he did play something that was a band. Yeah, something with bass. I can't remember.
Everything past the harmonica that he played was just, and I love bass. It was overwhelming. Was
it
much.
A 6-pack?
Yeah, he had a 6-pack of rails. And you remember, I did this over at Upscale Audio. Kevin Deal did a setup, and he had rail come out, and they probably had, I think, 3 setups. And I mean, they did it with fine speakers, and then they did it with the 888s. I can't remember. And I don't remember the other one. Probably Tannoys. But regardless, he played like Lee Rittenhauer right after that, and he's like, no, but this is the way this is the way it's supposed to sound.
Okay, so he didn't have a 6-pack in this room. There were only 2 12s.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, because I saw a couple pictures of full 6-packs at the show.
There were.
And that's why I was hoping you'd go, take a listen.
I did. Well, one was in Synergistic Research in Ted Denny's room. Okay,
right,
so we heard it there.
Movies, right?
No,
he was playing movies, though, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope, he's playing music. And
I saw a deal where he was playing Batman or something.
No, there was no display. He might have been playing the soundtrack or something.
Right. That's what I meant. He was showing off his the little resonators that he puts on the speakers.
Yeah.
And he was playing. It was a video, and he was he was going in and out. And he was playing a movie track.
Oh, okay.
But that's cool. He's playing this too.
So yeah, okay. So he had them, and then 3MA had them in this big Magico M5s, and then a 6-pack behind them, and $500,000 cables and all that shit. That had a 6-pack in it too.
That's the first time at a show that I've seen 6-packs. Like, and all of a sudden there's 3 rooms with them.
Yeah.
Well, did you get to sit down and look? I mean, because once that it's just the bass seems to be all encompassing. Like, I haven't seen a speaker that can handle it.
Yeah. I mean, the other place in Pomona or Pasadena, remember where I sold the other SPA 8? That dude had those JBL synthesis, the Everest, the big ones with the dual 15s, and he had 6-packs.
He has a dual 15s on each speaker, and then
and then a 6-pack. I'm like, dude, you've got way too many woofers in here. Like I said, the first thing we're gonna do is unhook the 6-pack. We're not even gonna use them. You don't need them for these. And we played it without, and they were phenomenal. Huh?
Does he ever talk to you anymore? I mean, I
saw him at a show. I saw him in Munich, and gave him a high five, and but no, I haven't talked to him since then. I can just call and see what he's up to, but I think he's, I don't think he's really actively trying to do any much more with hi-fi. He went with the SPA 8 and the full playback front end like you. He just has different speakers, but everything else is the same.
Yeah, well, he's one of the reasons why I bought the SP. Well, he is the reason why I bought the SP8 because I heard him on those Everest, and I've heard Everest, and I was like, wow, those things never sound good.
I know.
And I was like,
same thing happened to me, dude. I started asking him how much they were and where did he find, they're used. Well, how much are they? Well, really? Like, I started looking. I actually started looking for them for sale. Like, is there any on AudioGun? Is there anything like shit for 20 grand or whatever? He picked them up pretty inexpensively, And I was like, I think he said something like 20 or 23 or something like that. I'm like, well, Jesus, man.
That's
these things are nuts. They were
they go for about
original.
60 grand. I think about 60 grand right now. And I haven't looked, but I've never heard them good. So, hey, did Tad show up at this show?
Did who? Tad? No.
Did Tad?
No.
They didn't go to Florida and they didn't go to.
No. They will be well, I'm sure they're probably cutting it back. Tad came in full tilt boogie, going to every single show, and they probably realized It's not needed. You know, it's not necessary. Yeah. We don't need to go full tilt at these smaller shows. Just do it at Expona.
Did Alberto play his Looney Tunes music? Is that all he played?
I don't know. I wasn't in the room. But somebody did comment to me a second ago. I was talking to them earlier today, and they did. Yeah, I went into that room and they were playing some weird. How did he describe it? I can't remember what he said, but he said something like that.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite guy in the industry. I love messing with him, but he has a great product.
Yeah, we had dinner with him the first night, and it was great. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to circumvent your show, man. I was just wondering because I heard the thing about the Rels, and they did the same thing with that the harmonica, same guy.
Yes.
And I wasn't as impressed with the harmonica thing, but after that, me and Mick just listened to this thing, just going, well, if that's the way it's supposed to be, I'm glad I'm playing a system that doesn't
do it. Yeah, that doesn't play it the way it's supposed to. Yeah, that saves me the pain. Yeah.
I don't have to put $60,000 to make my system sound like shit.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. No, it was not a six-pack. Yeah.
Right on, man. All right.
Thanks, brother. Later. All right. Cheers, man. Okay. See you. We got to do that now when we say goodbye to anybody. So, anyways, David Gilden, take the copyright strike off thing, man. So everybody can listen to the video that I made where David was playing live for us in Angie's room. It was cool. At an Osio Audiophile, that's a waste of money, mate. You use a 100K subwoofer just to cancel bass. Yeah, well, I'm guessing he didn't pay $100,000 for it. Pollen is bad in Dallas. Is it really? I've got my throat hurts a little bit. I don't know if it I have this like at the back of my throat nasal thing, whatever, where my eustachian tube drains into my throat is a little inflamed. Eustationitis. So yeah, maybe that's it. And I hope you had some TX barbecue. We did, dude. We went to a place in Deep Ellum called Terry Black's. And that, dude, it was so good. My God, dude. I just rifled through like a pound of meat, man. I mean, no problem. I was like, it's bad because it's so good that you totally overeat, I mean, I did. Not like everybody. I'd have to make a concerted effort to go light. Here was my plate. Whoops, damn it. Just had it up. Here was my plate. Where is it? On now. Okay. Here was my plate. Look at this. How's that? House-made sausage. This was a jalapeno cheddar, which I normally would not get a flavor. I would just get a basic. I don't like it with the cheese, but he recommended it, the guy, and it was so good. There we go. And the ribs, the brisket, phenomenal. The fatty end, you got to get the fatty end of the brisket, where it's moist. Otherwise it's dry, dude. No, I don't like dry brisket. And what was I going to show you? Oh yeah, you guys will like this. There's Mikey and Danny. Took a picture of us together. There's proof. We were talking. So yeah, Danny's a good guy, man. Danny's a good guy. I'm going to go easy on him after talking to him. I have a new level of respect for him. Here's the tribe. Here's David Gilden right in the front, David. Here's all of us. These are all tribe guys. We're all in there. There's Gary Leeds in the back. That's David Solomon from Cobuzz telling us about Cobuzz up front. And Craig Hackney right there with the big bicep. Look at Craig. You're flexing. Craig's good shit, man. You guys would like Craig. Craig's definitely part of the inner circle of tribe members because he's a goof just like all of us, man. We get along. Here's some big tubes. Those things were $80,000 a pair for these. I think they were like, can't remember the power, but they were big tubes, but not as big as the Nats. They sounded good, but it wasn't That whole room was like $500,000. Oh yeah, here's the picture of the tube. Look at that gorgeous tube, man. I was like, God, that thing's so beautiful. It's so nice, man. Thing was about, I don't know, a foot tall, and maybe, like this, it was really cool. See if there's anything else I can show you guys. The Sound Labs was cool. There was Sound Labs. That was, those were these, and these Sound Labs are electrostats that don't need to go plug into the wall. They use very little current, and you can derive the current directly from the amplifier, which I've never seen before. It's pretty badass. Here's Alberto and Andy and Big John. Whoops. That was our second night there, right? Let's see if I can. Come on, focus. I'm trying to make it focus for you. Anyways, so that was the first night. That's Alberto from AGD. Really smart guy. I really like his designs. Here's another. This is the new audio research amplifier. I think that thing's cool. I'm probably going to get it here so I can listen to it. I really want audio research to be good. In a bad way, I want it to be good, and I want it to be a good price so I can, so it passes my muster so I can sell it, because I would love to sell US tube-based tube equipment. Here is the marble speakers, like somebody was asking. So tell me that's not Italian marble. That's definitely Italian marble. Look at that shit. It's badass. It's cool. They did not make bass the way the Fishers do. The Fishers make stronger bass for sure. And just smoother highs. See if I've got anything else that I can show you. That was a picture of, let's see. Well, here's a picture of David playing his Cora. Look how big that thing is. Okay, so remember how I just told you it's got 21. See if we can get this to focus. Trying to get it to focus for you guys. I have to get something with better autofocus. So yeah, so David sat there and played. There we go. Sat there and played. Look at all those strings, man. And he's got to pluck them all individually to get the music out. Any of you camera people, look at this. This was David Weintraub's brother. Had this Mamiya large format honker. I mean, I don't know anything about camera, but I knew I needed to take a picture when I saw it. Here's Mikey and Ron Resnick from What's Best Forum, and Ron has a What's Best Forum channel here on YouTube. Ron's one of the good ones. Look what I got. Oh, look what I got, you guys. Look what Mikey got. Look what Mikey got. Oh, baby, baby. See what that says in the corner? You know what that means? Look at this tax stamp. Look what that is. Where'd it go? What does that say? That's right. Complete with the hologram. Stamped on the back. And this is a whole box of tubos. Yep. Cuban cigars, in case you guys are wondering, in case it's not making sense. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Shane says the subwoofer wasn't 100K. I didn't think so. I never even heard about it. Nowhere near it. That's right. OCD Mikey, what's up? What's up, Will? Call in, man, if you want. Anybody's feeling like they want to call in and share a story, you can tell us a ghost story if you want to. I don't care. Whatever you want. Any peaks of the new audio research? It's funny, man. Isn't it weird how I show stuff and then it's like right in the, maybe I haven't even read it yet, but it's like subliminally my mind is reading it or something. Absolute Sound made a nice video. Yeah, I need to suss them out. That's my deal. Like I'm leery of it because, in many ways, once the brands become part of a conglomerate or owned by investment guys, then I start to worry. But they have revamped their line. Angie, by the way, that woman that you saw, the gray-haired Italian lady, is the oldest audio research dealer in North America. She has been the longest standing audio research dealer in America. And she's got a really cool place. I plan to go up to Toronto and hang out up there. Hopefully they won't like arrest me at the border. We know about you. Saturday at the end show was chill. Yeah, and Sunday was a great day to network and make new friends. Yeah, Sunday was dead. I mean, it as a attendee, it's fun because you can go into the rooms and spend all sorts of time with the guys. You know, you don't have to. The people have time because there's nobody there. Otherwise, when you go to like Expona, you're just never going to get to talk to the owners or the guys. I mean, you're going to have very little. They're gonna be slammed, and the rooms are full all the time. Bob says the sound difference with those Synergistics HFT in his demo was amazing, even through YouTube. Can't understand how those little things make such a difference. Well, they capture frequency. They're little frequency grabbers. So they grab certain frequencies that help to make the ones that are there. You know, how could I say it? It's like having, you know, it just grabs stray distortions or whatever and sucks it up and cleans it up, for lack of a better way of describing, you know, as I understand it. Ron Resnick said he didn't think it was well attended. No, nobody did. None of us felt that way. Testicles 1 2 3 1 2 3 testicles. He's talking about testicles 1 2 3. Mic test. That's a mic test. Angie had a great room. Angie did have a great room. Angie always has a great room. Angie knows what she's doing. Would you like to send some Fisher and Fisher speakers for speaker got Danny Ritchie to fix? No. No, man. I don't think there's anybody. What happens, okay, and what Danny said is that people that aren't happy with their stuff send it to him. So I don't think there's going to be anybody that has Fisher and Fisher that's like, it just doesn't sound right to me. I need to fix it. No, these are uncommonly well-made speakers. I am very blessed to have the brand because it is for sure a secret weapon. It is there. There's nothing I heard at the show that sounded like the Fishers. Hey, Mikey, Tribe Folk, what's up, Jasper? Good to see you, brother. Enjoy the receptacle. Yes, man, I've got it. Thank you very much. John is a local audiophile, and he gave me a Wattgate receptacle, or Hubble rather, from the early days before they were rhodium plated. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. What's up, Mikey and Tribe? Looking forward to Expona. You know it, Vooch. We'll see you there, buddy. They need more exposure. Yeah, they will get it. The Oslo Hi-Fi show had 56 rooms, I think. So out of those, 6, maybe 7 rooms I truly enjoyed. Yeah, that's how it normally is. Most of the rooms had high frequency noise going on. The 500K Borison and Avic room was harsh. It was here too. I heard nothing, but that was the exact response from everybody that went to that room. I didn't go to that room, and there's a particular reason why I didn't, but because I don't like the guy inside there, and it's not the Borison guys, you know, it's their US dealer. I don't like him. And so there's no reason for me to go in there, but all the people that went in there came back and said it sounded harsh. They were like, it was, you know, at first it was, you know, the imaging was, you're like, oh, wow, okay, I see what people like. But then it gets, after a little bit, it got too harsh and fatiguing, and they had to take off. So if anybody that's watching this live stream right now wants to comment from their own listening experience, please go ahead. We need to get more young people coming to the show. That's right. That is for sure. Hey, from Bronco, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. We went, Broncos is Belgrade Hi-Fi Tribe, our chapter. He runs the Hi-Fi chapter out there. Man, he came and picked us up, Joe and I, and took us all around, man, and showed us the insider. He grew up and lives in Belgrade and grew up there. And he gave us awesome tour, man. That was great. I really want to go back, Bronco. We didn't get enough time there. I want to go back. Hey, Mikey, I tried calling you. It said voice mailbox full. Oh, call right now, man. Call right now, brother. It was probably because I was on the other line. Give a holler right now. Let's see if I even see the incoming call. Nope, I don't see your incoming call. Try it right now, Ziggy. Give a call right now. Do it now. Do it. I was attended far too much bass. Where? Did anyone? Where? Sell me something, Mikey. What do you want, Vooch? Let me know. Just tell me how much, and then I'll figure something out. I like the artwork. Thanks, Bronco. You see the little bear? Can you see the bear faces? That's a DMT trip right there, bro. Yeah. I've gotten most of the good stuff I may or may not buy from your channel. Cool, Will. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Dude, what a lap dog. Were we talking about dogs? Did I miss that? Because I'll show you the dogs that were here today. Look at these little scrappers, man. They're the best. These two. That's Pickles in the back, with the little wiener dog, and then the front one. He's kind of a mix. He's like maybe a Chihuahua and a wiener dog. His name is Beans. So we had Beans and Pickles, Pickles and Beans. They're the greatest. Pickles. I mean, I really Pickles it made me really dig dachshunds. You thought the Rockport room sounded great. I thought yeah. I thought the Rockport was good. Now I wasn't in there very long, and it was kind of let's put it this way. It was a quick, is this Ziggy trying to come through? It was a quick, okay, just frame the phone screen evenly centered in the frame, and then the camera auto on the foreground talk. Okay. Dale's a cinematographer from freaking Hollywood. Okay. So I've got tribe folk that are Hollywood cinematographers telling me how to get the phone to focus. Okay. I got it, Dale. Thanks, buddy. Go ahead, Zig. Call him, buddy. We want to meet Ziggy. We haven't met Ziggy yet, but he's got a scooter in his picture, so I want to meet him. So the Rockport room was quick. Look, I like Rockport speakers. I know Rockport speakers sound great. So I was in there for a little bit. People were talking kind of behind me, and they weren't playing exactly my music that I would listen to, but I didn't need to ask them to play my music. I was just like, okay, this is I know it's good. So I didn't have to really focus too much on it. That's why we like you, Mikey. You're a straight up nice guy, an audio dealer. That's what we need. Good audio dealers that love music like you, Mikey. Right on. Thanks, buddy. Tom Lou, talking shit raises all ships. Well, I haven't heard that one before. Talking shit raises all ships. No, explain. Why wasn't Fisher and Fisher present? Because I didn't bring them. I can get them into, it takes a little more planning. I didn't have a room myself because I want a big room. I'm done doing little rooms. I've done last 2 rooms. Here comes Zig.
Call from
Ziggy.
All right.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Yo, Zig.
What's happening?
What's up, brother?
Not much. Wanted to say hello to the tribe and
welcome.
Looking forward to you guys coming out to Expona. I'm about 10 minutes away from there.
Nice, buddy. Nice.
So doing some room treatments with some bioacoustics here. So I'm just wrapping things up for the evening. I got my whole wall tore apart.
Oh, do you? Nice, man. You're really going for it.
Yeah, finally. Just doing the whole bit.
Awesome.
About $5,000 worth of product. So
there you go. And what is your system like? What are you working with?
Oh, working with a Hagel 590.
Cool.
And I have some open baffle, the M3 Sapphires.
Mm-hmm.
and Chi-Fi Polo Audio Maydac.
Cool. Cool.
So it works for me for now until I can spring for that playback designs.
Well, it's all that matters, man. If you're happy, you're happy. And what is
right,
that? What
exactly.
what is that in? Is that your bike in the picture in your avatar? Looks like a heritage Softail.
I built that from the ground up.
That's a club bike, dude. You got big old ape hangers on them and shit.
Yep. That one's a goner last fall, so I'm just down to the ultra classic.
Oh, there you go.
I'm getting old.
Yeah,
I need that ride, you know.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. Tell me about it.
63.
Good
63.
for you, man.
I can't run that hardtail anymore. You know?
Jesus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I've never had a hardtail. Yeah.
Those are some long days.
Yeah.
Some long days on that bike.
Yeah.
Lots of miles. But now I'm riding the old ultra classic.
There you go.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see you at the show.
Likewise, man.
We'll definitely do some shit disturbing, and I kind of wished I was with you when you ran into Danny, and it probably wouldn't have been so pretty. That I can promise you.
Classic. Yeah.
We'll
I know.
Big
John was laughing, like, dude, and some other people said the same thing like you, but whatever. It was just silly
exactly.
shit. Yeah. So. All right, man.
So we'll definitely see you at the show. I'm looking forward to my buddies over at Quintessence Audio will have all that new audio research stuff.
Okay.
At the show.
Oh, cool.
So
cool.
They'll be down on the main floor. So
awesome.
we're definitely going to hook up.
Yeah, man. Just call this phone number.
I'll hook up with you Friday night.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right. See y'all.
Okay, man. See
ya.
Nice. Yeah. See, you got to do it, man. See ya. It's good shit. All right. So Fisher and Fisher. Yeah. I mean, I'll send them to people like I at Capitol last minute. Like 2 weeks before the show, I said, "Hey, Alberto, do you want me to bring my speakers down?" You know? And he said, "Are they good?" And I said, "They're freaking great." And he said, "Okay, I trust you. I trust your ear." So I brought him down, and he did like them. And so, but he already had agreements in place for this show, and I think for Chicago as well. So I couldn't sneak them in. But to be perfectly honest, it's like I'm selling them. People don't need to hear them. I'm selling them regardless. People don't need to hear them. They're vanishing. I have 3 pallets at the airport right now. 3 new pallets just came in. So anybody that missed the first round of speakers, the second round is in. I've got 5 pairs of the little baby monitors. So those are now available again. I've got like a couple 170s, a couple 270s, a couple 370s, a pair of 470. I replenished everything that I sold. I've got a pair of 570s that we have to see how the market goes. The guy who had the pre-order, he lost some dough, and it was his retirement dough, and he got cold feet. He wants to wait till the market comes back up now. So maybe he's going to wait until next round. So 570s may be available, which is pretty cool. So yeah, did I see the room with Stenheim and CS port amps? Were those the tubes? Is that the one you're talking about? They were Chinese, made in China, big vacuum tubes for 80 grand a pair. I did go to that room. It was cool. It sounded good. There was really no things that stood out as not being good in that room, but it was not full tilt magic. Like we weren't like, holy shit, which I think you should be, at that price. If you're over 100 grand, you're 80 grand for the amps, you're at like whatever 50 for the speakers, whatever he had in the front end, it was a couple 100,000. You should be like, oh my God, like I've never heard anything sound so good. 30K is huge, Mike. What are you talking about? 30K subs? Mikey needs room for bigger fishers. I have the room. I just haven't put them in yet. The Cora, yeah, buddy, that was that pick. After party with Avant-Garde and Todd next time. Yeah, how long? I can't remember what kind of a. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, in that room. They get another big room. We'll get the tunes sorted out, and then we will jam some shit on those big dog horns, man. And Ange will be down for it. Angie can throw a good party. Are you displaying the FNF speakers at Exponent? Not at this point. If I can get in, if I can get in with somebody's room, somebody that, I know a lot of people, and if they're just like, oh, they don't have any agreements with anybody for the speakers, they'll just let me. Oh, I know somebody approached me at this show and said, if you want to do a big room, we've got a big room. We'll let you bring. They got 1,000-watt monoblocks, $110,000 monoblocks. They're like, bring the fishers, man. So I need to talk to them. I need to, but most people right now, since we're 3 weeks away, have commitments. If they're bringing their own speakers, then I can sneak in. But if they've got commitments with a speaker manufacturer, they can't really boot them, at the last minute. It's not cool. You can't 5 times your cost in a product and expect it to be sustainable. Okay. Yeah, I don't know to what product you're talking about, like those the $80,000 monoblocks. What was I talking about? I think high if you can do the 5X and be sustainable, this is the industry for it. I mean, I don't think you can in most other industries, but you could here. How did you wire your 6 subs when you had them? Did they each have their own amp pack? No. Each stack of 3 was on a single plate amp. So they were all in series. Parallel series. They were in parallel. Can't remember. They let's see. Series is one to the next to the next. No, they were in parallel because they completed a circuit. We went down one side and then back down the other. So yeah, they're in parallel. And no, they did not. They were 3 at a time, acting as one big sub. Lance, what did you think of the Rizzy and the Sound Lab? So the Rizzy was cool. Was it hi-fi? No. Was it the only innovator at the show? Yeah. There was nothing really new and innovative that I haven't seen before that was like stepping outside the box other than the Rizzy. So the Rizzy was a cool thing like that. What he's talking about is those flat things. They were $4,500 a pair. The guys were from Uruguay. A guy and his woman, I don't know if it was man and wife or whatever, but they had coffee and some really good cookies. And it was just cool and nice to see he was a young guy. So I like to see that. I like to see young innovators coming into the industry and bringing unique stuff because they're passionate about it. And, but it wasn't something that was, full tilt hi-fi. I don't think the Sound Lab was great, man. I love Sound Lab. Sound Lab was really cool. I like panel speakers. I thought it was really unique that you didn't need to plug them into the wall. So that was cool. And then but the Sound Lab, okay, the Sound Lab was the best sounding panel at the show. I think it sounded better than Clarisis. I think it sounded better than Potpourri. I think it sounded better than what other panels were there? Bang to Pan wasn't there, and I don't think Diptyque was either. Lance also liked the Avant-Garde. Yeah, it's good shit. If I picked one thing I liked the most from the Oslo show, it was the Rosso Fiorentino. Really, very interesting, David. I don't like them. I don't like them. I mean, it's not that they're bad. We heard them in Alberto's room, and the Fishers, to me, and I don't mean anything. If Skip, you're watching, brother, it's just my damn opinion, man. It doesn't mean anything. Skip's a good guy. I think he's the importer. I just think I think I have a better speaker, but that's my opinion, and it's the one that I sell. So maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe I'm just lying to get you guys to buy shit. That's what you don't know. But if you know me and you get to know me, you either count on my hearing or not. But I just don't think there's any MDF speaker that can do what a Stone speaker can. And then even with the Stone speaker, you have to be able to get one that can give some bass and some warmth or body to it without being a little cold. And some stone speakers are cold sounding. So, but that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. Love your passion for the hobby, but those, you didn't finish your sentence, man. But those, the old REL distributors used to know the harmonica thing. Sumiko from Berkeley. Oh, okay. Got it. So that's a good, maybe that was a demo that got handed down. Have I heard any of the older? No, I've not heard any of the older Fisher and Fisher, but, you don't want older speakers. Just generally speaking, they get worn out. Those are the things that have moving parts. They wear out. There's a scale that you get when you add a sub that's well implemented. You don't necessarily hear it, but you feel it. Yeah, right. It's not just the speakers. I didn't like the YG either. Unnatural tonality. Ask anybody if they like YG. Anybody who's watching right now, does anybody like YG acoustics? Let's take a poll. Does anybody? I have not heard one audiophile that likes YG, so I don't know who they're selling to. We heard a $500,000 set, and it was just like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, okay, it's a nice build. They're all aluminum and super huge, but $500,000. Wangus. It was a Wangus ribeye. I love it when you talk that way. It's the Wangus. I got your Wangus. Hey, Steve. What's up, man? Hello, Mikey. Jose, what's up? He had the Sound Lab. So here's Sound Lab guy right here. I just gave you props, bro, for having the best sounding panel speaker. Hey, Shane, what's up from D Hardy? Nothing slams like REL. I think my friend had it in his house, but I never want REL. Yeah. I mean, I guess, I just don't, I tend to, it was a compelling demo. I got to say, it was a compelling demo. So I'm interested to just check it out, but I really don't want extra boxes in my damn room, dude. I don't want subs at the back. I don't want things to, I mean, it sounds killer the way it is with the Fisher and Fishers, and I really don't want to add long ass cables and subwoofers. If I can avoid it, I will at any cost. But it is intriguing to me to know. The older I get and the more I do this, the simpler I want it. That's what I mean with bass. You stop hearing it, you just feel it. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mikey, hey, Tribe, any thoughts on Sim Audio Moon? Sim Audio, I think, is I like the look of volume control. How good is the MPD8 volume control? The MPD8 volume control in my rig beat a $26,000 line stage. $26,000, the best preamp that I know of. Okay, a Nat Audio Magnetostat SE. That's the best preamp I know of, the best one that I could find. And the volume control on the MPD8 was better straight from the DAC than it was through the preamp. I could hear the fuzzy edges on the music from the tube preamp, which I'd never heard before, and it freaked me out. I'm like, I can't believe that. So Sim Audio Moon, man, Sim Audio's toast. I think they are I don't know. The older stuff was the shit. It was really cool, good stuff, and really cool shape, and just the commercial design aesthetic was badass on the older Sim Audio stuff. I really liked it at one point. I think it's petered out. Didn't I used to have a ponytail? Yes, I did. Happy birthday, Harsha from Iowa. Look at that coming in. Namaste. If you need to come to my room, Mikey, that's what the bass is like there. You need to come to my room. Yeah, man, I'll be there. I'm coming down. There's something very satisfying about bass like that. You feel it rather than hear it. Yes. I listened to Akora in Audio Research Room and was very disappointed. Yeah, I think this time around in they didn't quite pull it off. Akora normally does pull it off in grand fashion. Like in Florida, Akora totally pulled it off. And it was amazing. It was great. This time around, something was different, man. Just wasn't there. Marble ring, slate does not. Okay. That might be it. Good evening, tribe. Drago checking in from Evanston. Mikey, thanks for the text about this live stream. You bet, buddy. Hey, Dan. Hello, all. Been a while. What's up, Daniel? How much did your sub 6-pack add to your GR and Rhythmic? I think it was. Okay. How much did okay, so in my big rig with the panels, that shit made it. Like it made or broke the system with that. Like it was crucial to have those with. In fact, when I sold it all as a package. I wouldn't break it up because I'm like, this thing needs to have the extra tweeter, the Magnapan tweeter. It needs to have the all these parts need to be part of this thing, including the subs, and the amps and everything. So it made that deal. You and Jason, there are no Cowboys in Dallas. Where are they? Texas, in Fort Worth? It's Tech Bro Central. Okay. I think chaps with the nut cheeks out is a good butt cheeks, I think. I hope I don't mind some cheeks on my nuts, like, depends. But, with a good look with a hat for you. Yeah, man. And some cowboy boots too. But yeah, we got it. A big black beaver. I'm with you, bro. Oh man, be careful. Yeah, I can get away with it. Well, you need to lighten up. Yell, you need to lighten up. Yell. Oh, yell, you need to lighten up. Yell it. Like sup, Mikey and tribe. Sativa time. There you go. Well, sativa's gonna activate you, bro. It's time at nighttime that's indica time, bro. Sativa time's morning. Hey, Mikey and tribe. Clark checking in from Hawaii. Let me know if you ever get out to the islands, Mikey. I will, Clark. Holler and introduce yourself, and then I'll put you in my phone as Clark, and then whatever island you're on. You're on Big Island? Where are you? Shane, appreciate the help, but unfortunately, I'm in Oregon and need to reorient to time and place. Yeah, exactly. He's got it. How did you like the classic audio field coil speakers? Okay, so it was a little harsh. I like John, man, and his stuff is legit, and he's always playing tape, So, and that guy's been doing this shit forever. Like that guy's at every show. Holy shit, for the last 40 years. His first show was 1980. What did he say? 84. 84 in in Moscone, not Moscone, but in Chicago. The damn, where did they have it at? I can't remember the name of the place in Chicago. But so it was a little bit bright when we were in there and listening, a little bit mid-range forward. But later on they tamed back, they turned it back, the mids or the highs like 3 dB and balanced it out. But I didn't get to go back, but I heard from somebody that knows him pretty well that said, yeah, we tamed out that mid-range or that high. We tamed the high. I think they knocked it down 3 dB and fixed it. My new Huffy is better than your old Schwinn. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing that goes down. For some reason, I just get a kick out of the name Big J. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was what I call him, Big J, just because he's the guy's freaking big as a house, right? And really, when I see him, I'm like, when I first met him, I called him Little Bro, because he was fresh to it, right? He was really fresh. When I first met him, he didn't know. He's much more experienced now, right? So because of that, I just call him Little Bro, because I would talk to him and, just he'd ask questions and I'd answer him, and he was Little Bro, But now I know him better, so I just call him Jay. And Big J, when I'm talking to you guys, I say Big J because there's Big J and then there's Jay Ziagi, which is Little J. So I call the two Big J and Little J, depending, You have to be even more careful with some manufacturers. Yeah, I know. That's for sure, Jose. You're not kidding. If you're looking at cowboy hats, the higher the X, the better the quality. Yeah, like 3X or whatever. If you want the best, it's 100X pure beaver. Cheaper ones are like 3 or 5 grand. Yeah, getting pretty decent. Oh, 20x and cheaper ones are 3 or 5x. I got you. 20 or 30x. Okay, got it. Yeah, my brother told me that they're like 5, 6, 8 grand for their their hats. How about that, Zap? Oh yeah, Jose played. I get it, Jose. I get it. I get the whole vinyl thing, but then at the same time, I don't, right? I get it and I don't. Um, yeah, I understand why people love it. But it's not my thing still, you know. There's something that is, I think, a vinyl lover is accustomed to that signature and they love it. It's like somebody that loves mofongo, man, right? And then you got con gris or something else, right? And it's a different thing. Some people like mofongo, some people like con gris, so it's a little different, but I get it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Um, it was definitely, sometimes people will play things on vinyl and I go, okay, this is like Angie played some shit. Okay, we were in the avant-garde room listening to the little zeros, right? And those zeros had not been EQ'd for that room, which they needed to be. They were a little bit forward, okay? Especially when turned up. And we were listening to some digital music and whatever, streaming, right? And it was getting a little bit forward, and we got onto some rockabilly tune where it was like, holy shit, too forward. And then Ange was like, can I put a record on for you? And we're like, yeah, please. And she put on Dark Side of the Moon, the original Mo-Fi pressing, right? Not her best pressing. She said she had a better one at home, but it was a good one, right? And instantly I'm like, Angie, you just made like the biggest case for vinyl right now. Like if someone was here listening to this is how you make the case for vinyl, because it tamed out all that forwardness. But the speakers weren't EQ'd for the room anyways. So I think if we had gone back and tuned the speakers for the room, ultimately I probably would have preferred digital. But in that sort of a situation, and there's certain bands, especially the old classic rock, that you throw on vinyl and it just sounds really good. It's fun to listen to. I just don't in like Jose, when we went around and we listened to out of 10 vinyl setups that I hear, I like one. Like most of them, when I listen to them, they sound like lack of bass, like thin lack of bass. I don't feel that same visceral body impact thing that I get from digital. And I know there's so many things, and that's the thing. There's so many things to change in the vinyl rig. Like, is it the cartridge? Is it the arm? Is it the whatever, the phonopre? Is it the tubes in the phonopre? Is it I applaud you guys, the vinyl guys. I applaud you guys. I love you. You keep the music alive in many ways, and God bless you, because I don't know that I have the patience, but Jose, look, Jose is Dr. Vinyl. So if you guys want record, anything to do with turntables, cartridges, phonopres, whatever, Jose, you should sell my Nat Audio phonopres, because I can't, I know they're really good, but I don't sell vinyl. So I'm not a proper rep for those things. If you'll consider it, I'll just send one to you, and then you can tell me if you like it. Tell me how it stacks up. I hear they're freaking badass, but I'd need you to tell me for me to really know for sure. Has the foot traffic attendance of potential customers decreased recently as a result of the current economic situation? Not for me. Okay, so foot traffic attendance is what you're talking about at the show. I don't know why that's off. Okay. I don't think they advertise the show well enough. That's my feeling. Like they should be advertising it locally in the newspaper, on media, whatever. But I don't think, none of the Uber drivers knew what the hell we're talking about. None, people that were staying, you talk to people sitting out in front of the hotel, they got no idea. They don't know. It's just like, and then, but you're talking about potential customers now. Many times the foot traffic at the show are not potential customers. They're just going there because they're hobbyists and they just want to see and hear a bunch of cool shit and hang out with their buddies and have good dinners, they're not really going to buy anything at the show. Very few fresh blood or whatever people come there looking for something to buy. Some do, but not usually. If you're asking, is our sales off? I think maybe industry wide sales are down. Seems like dealers are a little more desperate in some ways, or just there's a slowdown. For me, not at all. Like my sales are going up, it's consistent. It's not slowed down whatsoever. I think just I'm lucky in that regard, or blessed, or people trust me or something. But whatever it is, it's working for me, and I'm not noticing any economic downturn whatsoever. My people, they're not concerned that their stocks are down. They're still, it doesn't matter. The stocks are going to come back up anyways. Whoever's worried about the stock going down, it's going to come back up. It always does. It goes down. There's no need to flip out. There's no need to even be concerned. It's coming back, and it'll come back strong. When it goes down, buy. That's the deal. Buy the dip. Buy crypto, man, because crypto is like the beginning of the, and again, I should probably say a disclaimer. I'm not insinuating that there's any sort of investment potential. Like you could lose all your money, right? But as far as I understand it, crypto is like the beginning of, if we were there for the beginning of the stock market, we would have bought everything in sight, because we would know if we just had that foresight and we knew what was going to happen, we would have bought everything we had. We would have thrown it into the stock market. So no, I don't feel it whatsoever. My sales are strong. What are some Zeppelin songs that are good to test with? I don't know. Whole Lot of Love. Going to California, Dire Maker, I Can't Quit You, Babe. I Can't Quit You, Babe has a drum pedal squeak in it. That's very obvious in the beginning. The kick drum has a squeaky pedal, squeaky, 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 and you can hear it. On a good rig, you should be able to hear the drum pedal squeak from I Can't Quit You, Babe. Dave, I think it's because of the novelty of it being here. Went down. I don't know what that is. Now, that's what it's all about, the dancing with the family to the music, right? Isn't that great? Yeah, sitting down with my mom was a special moment. She's like 80 and facing health challenges. She texted me how beautiful they sounded today. She was really touched by the sound. That's awesome, man. What else could you ask for? Noel. Oh, Noel Lee. Yeah, you knew that. Rizzy. Yep. Noel Lee. Yep. Rizzy 4,500. That's right. Amen on the impact of subs, even on harmonica. Yeah, it was wild, right? I can explain why the subs made a difference with the harmonica piece. We don't have time. Subs can improve any speaker. Yep. But who needs it? If you, it's like, again, it's like Borla 3-inch exhaust can improve any Ferrari too, but I'm happy with the base model. Yes, Steve, I agree. Once you hear proper bass, you will miss it. Yeah. When you see hi-fi bring a family together like that, it warms my heart. Yeah, totally, man. That's what it's all about. How was the M Labs room? Okay, those are my homies. Okay. I think it could have been better. Beautiful product line. They also had YG. I just don't think YG is a good speaker. I'm not into it. I think it's an okay speaker, but it's I don't know how it's so popular. I think it changed. It changed. I think it was better than it is now. So I think their room could have been better. That's all. But really cool product line. I really dig the product line. My mom had a frontal temporal dementia, but she could remember music she loved from 40 years ago, but couldn't remember what you said 5 minutes ago. Yeah, isn't that amazing? That one brother, thanks for sharing the story. That's what it's all about. You know it, man. Music therapy is very effective for dementia. We have it regularly in the nursing home I work in. That's awesome, man. WTF. Yeah, man, take the damn thing off. Part of my interest in hi-fi was Saturday morning music at home while everyone was in a good mood. I remember meticulously choosing our family stereo, a Techniques all-in-one. Yeah, I call that I was telling a story. I had one too. I call those whopper floppers for $800 in the 90s. Remember, it had a record player on top, a cassette on the side right next to the tuner, and it was Whopper Flopper. It's great, man. That was the beginning. Yes, same. Thanks, you bet, David. Maybe it was my grandpa's Ghetto Blaster with the equalizer from the 80s. Yeah, those things were awesome, man. I love those. We had a great weekend. There's Amadeus. Dozens of potential customers that want to take DAX for a spin and a couple for the amps and preamp. Yeah, so that's great, man. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's impressive product line. It was good to see you. Yeah, for sure, man. We went out with Amadeus. You guys saw the if you guys saw in my shorts, they I had a couple video shorts of house music, and Amadeus knew the DJ and had us DJ side, table service, bottle service, you know, the whole thing. It was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. I realized, you know what? Couple things. First of all, hard for me to do this sober because I'm sober now, right? And second of all, I'm an old fucker. That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing the power of music to feel our emotions. A sad song can say so much. Yes. Okay. David, yes. Haha for cookie. Yeah, that was a good cookie. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. A fit cookie. You are a fit cookie, bro. Got sidetracked by 30 minutes. What's the fascination with cigars if you don't inhale the smoke? What could it be? Potentially the flavor in the mouth? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So it is a flavor, and it is a pure, like a cigarette is the chopped up floor sweepings. Like it's the shit that's gross, and then they put whatever chemical and crap in there to make you addicted, whatever they do with it. It's just horribly processed. Whereas a cigar is just tobacco leaf pulled off the tobacco plant, hung, dried, and then rolled up, right? So it's pure tobacco, and it tastes completely different than a cigarette. And they taste greatly different as you have the different climates, the different countries, the different seed that it comes from. They're so if you're a connoisseur, and you like things that have like wine, all the different flavors of the different regions and the different years and all that shit, and you like that. Same with chocolate, all the different strains of, you know, bean and all that shit. If you like that kind of thing, then cigars go right along with that because you can taste it. Beautiful, but contraband cigars I would not expose. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Give me a break. Yeah, exactly. They're fake. Didn't Val from Acora buy Audio Research? I think he put together a group that did. Vanatu. Lost a friend to thunderstorm asthma, which is hardcore pollen storm. If pollen is high, always be careful. People have an asthma pump, etc. Wow. Sad. I'm sorry, man. Danny is good for exposing some speaker brands' genetics. Well, you know, he has his opinion. Again, it's his view of what it is. You know, at that same Wilson, you know, thing, you know, Wilson was like, we definitely designed those things in to our, we know what exists. We measure our speakers. You know, it's not like they don't measure their speakers. They know what it is. They choose certain things for certain reasons. They choose to keep certain errors in order to fix other things. And then because if you fix one error, you fix one thing, you expose another. So they know what they're doing. And maybe it's not to his liking or his customers' liking, but you know, to suggest Wilson doesn't know what they're doing is foolish. They're an extremely successful company. Mikey, I bet your Veerstar Grandmasters could win a best in show. I doubt they could. No, my speakers were cool, but they're for playing loud. That speaker where it would be best is for a party room, someone that throws parties. That's where that speaker would be the best, man. It's a party speaker. It's definitely not a refined hi-fi type speaker, but you could play it so loud and it's so much bass and so intense. It's like a discotheque speaker, really. Hey, Mikey and the tribe. It was awesome to meet you in Dallas. Hey, Arun, man. Good to meet you too, man. Amadeus, it was nice to meet you, and thanks for putting the Meitner MA3i in and let me play my tunes. You are awesome. There you go. Those big tubes were 212s and doing 40 watts per channel. Okay, there you go. So the Nat Audio for 80K, you get something that'll do 160 watts. So anyways, tall ships. I would say loose lips sink ships. Yes. Yeah, I got that. So talking shit is a little different. New Record Day thought you were a little rude to his new best mate. Yeah, that was clear. That was clear. There was no question about that. Jose. Height YG, never heard anything I've ever liked, and they sell to rich people. Could be. Mikey, get yourself some D-Hist. This will clear up you. Not YG. Not worth time. This will clear you up. What's D-Hist? Is that like antihistamine? Is that what I need? Mikey, do it your way. You know it, Charles. How's it going, man? I'm using a stereo pair of REL S510s with the M3 Sapphires. There you go. Cool. At a pleasure, my friend. Yeah, it was a good time, Amadeus. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. These are good people too. Okay, so for everybody, Amadeus and his dad, good people. These are good. You know, the Meitners are cool. They're good. They're good. By Mikey. But again, it's just my perception, but they're my kind of peeps. We're no Fisher and Fisher at the show. I've not heard them yet, but the Rosa Fiorentino speakers sound is an intimate type of sound that I like. They sound better than the Martin speakers. Wow, that's pretty good. My guess is the Martins weren't set up right, if you're feeling that way. What's up, Mikey and the tribe? What happened to those triple stacks of the open baffle subs? I sold them. Hope all is well. Omaha, Nebraska in the house. Yeah, man, I sold them. I sold them with the big panels. That was the best sound. People still remember it, and it made a big impression on many people, but I couldn't reproduce that. My main priority, it goes to my clients, you guys. And so I have to create things that I can reproduce and find cool systems that I can sell to you guys and not just make some one-off thing that's the magical thing that I use for myself only. I need to find things that I can reproduce and sell to you guys. So my priority changed and I just had to sell that, and just hope I can but I have a wicked reference. So I know what I'm shooting for. The Rosa Fiorentino speaker is very emotionally engaging. Not all MDF speakers are made the same, but usually I prefer the sound of wood. Okay. Well, there you go. How was the Von Schweikert at the show? It was great, Rashawn. It was great. They do a good job. I mean, they were one of the best rooms, but they had cured it with some subs at the back and dialed it really in. We listened to the Von Schweikerts downstairs, the green ones, and they did not have the same impact that the white ones upstairs did, that were corrected for the room. Jose, that DS Audio Phono was sweet. Yeah, Jose had a new DS Mofongo con ketchup. Gross, dude. Really? I can't put ketchup on rice. No way. If I would have found Mikey before I bought a turntable, I would have saved space and lots of dough. Yeah. Yep. To make a turntable sound world class, as good as a playback designs, it's at 50 grand, or more. Frijoles. Arun. Crick speakers and Coda amp room were pretty impressive. The speakers were $1,400 USD bookshelf speakers that made of tone and bass very well, but the image was lacking in that room. Okay, cool. He's talking about the one in Norway. Vinyl is fun. You get into for the cost and stay for the inconvenience. I guess, man, it's all good. I mean, we talked to Angie. Angie's a vinyl person too. And we said, how many records do you have? 20,000. I'm like, oh my God. How do you organize all that shit? 20,000 freaking records. Like, it just pains me to think of. But that's how you have to do it, Then you have some breadth of listening. Then you can listen to a whole bunch of shit. Most people, if I had records, I'd have maybe 500 or something. That's not enough records, That's not enough music. I need more. When is the new OnTech DAC with volume knob coming out? I will find out. I need to find out. Anyone like the Wells Audio and Evolution Acoustics or the Bella Sound Room? Again, look, respect to Jeff Wells. He's been doing this a long time. I personally didn't think that room hit it with those little speakers. Impressive, cool little speakers. It's Evolution Audio. You know, they're little made in China speakers for, I don't know, what were they, $4,000 or 3,500 or 40 something, between 35 and 45. I can't remember. But you know, it was a good sounding room, but I think you know, it wasn't on my high list. Bella Sound, I don't know what that is. I will always have vinyl. I like digital too, but I have a hard time going back now once I have tasted the fruits. Yeah, well, if you had a Playback Designs, that might change your mind because it beats vinyl in many systems. You have to have a sick turntable to match the MPD-8. Would you be a rep for Diptyque? Okay, so I am actually. Okay, so in other words, sometimes you sign on with certain brands, or I mean distributors, like what's their name again? Steve Jan. So with that, once I signed on with them for Opera Audio, right? Because I wanted to have an entry-level speaker that I thought was very good. And Opera is a great entry-level speaker. And so once they approve me for their distributorship from their company, now I'm into a world of, I can sell 15 different brands. So I'm a dealer for Diptyque, but I don't put it up on my site because I don't promote it, right? I'm a dealer for Audio Arrow. I'm a dealer for, what's that German? BMG, or AVM, I'm a dealer. Everything that Steve Jan carries, I can sell any of it. So yeah, I sell Diptyque but I just don't promote it because I don't sell a lot of different types of speakers. I stick with very few. If I can get sold US representation, that's what I prefer. The vinyl guys must have big balls because that shit is crazy. Yes, totally. How was the food at the show this time? It was great, man, but we left the premises. But there was a full service restaurant there. There was a full service Starbucks, you know, and then with snack food or whatever, like sandwiches and all that kind of stuff that you could get immediately. And then there was a restaurant which was decent but kind of expensive, that was in the lobby. I didn't eat there. And then there's an upstairs restaurant that was a steakhouse that was really good. Last year we went. It was very delicious and very good service. But I heard from people this year that it was not the same. So we just would leave at night. I wouldn't really care about lunch. Was unimportant. I didn't really eat lunch. I would just not eat all day, maybe have a coffee in the afternoon and then go for a nice dinner. So we had some great. Glad you and Danny got together. I dig both of you guys and what y'all do. See ya. I once sold all my vinyl, then sold all my 600 DVD. Then I sold 1,000 CD literally for pennies now, trying to buy some of it back. Well, I've got a hell of a CD collection. If anybody wants to buy my CDs, man, I've got like 5 boxes of CDs, all classic rock and stuff like that. Cool shit. I need my startup to go public. Then we will talk. Yes, there you go, Arun. Super wealthy have no concerns, never do. That's true. It's true. They don't give a shit. How much better is the current Playback Designs MPD-8 DAX line versus the last MPD? It's the Dream Series is called the Dream Series for a reason. It's a breakthrough product. So but I have heard people that have bought MPD-3 and 5s because of their low cost on the used market and have told me, Mikey, this is the best DAC I've ever heard. And I'm like, holy shit, really? So they were still good. I use the new stuff. I've not heard the old stuff, but people like it. But I know that he told me that the Dream Series was a new analog engineer or there was something new about it that made it breakthrough for them. There's a bear in there on a psychedelic chair. There are people with amps and REL 6-packs open wide. Come inside. Mikey School. Right on, brother. Led Zeppelin, rock and roll. There you go. Live O2 area is good. Cool. Hello, Mikey. What's up? Steven, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Let's chat about Fisher & Fisher partnering for a future show. I'm intrigued with your enthusiasm about them, and it'd be great to pair up. So I'll just tell people. So Amadeus is Meitner. So we're talking about doing a show where we see he's already got his rooms locked because he's been doing it every year. So that means he might even have a big room. If you do, that'd be phenomenal. We could do something big and bold. But we'll talk for sure, Amadeus. Yeah. I think they'll be do better for your brand to showcase it better. But I'd like to get one here. Just send me like a stereo amp, man. Nothing really extravagant. Just let me get a taste of what MOSFET's all about, because all the solid state amps that I've had in here have always been bipolar. So I've not been able to suss out MOSFET yet. So I'd love to be able to figure out what MOSFET's all about. Many people say MOSFET's riddled with problems. The only way to truly not have issues on the output stage is to use bipolar, and you use JFETs or whatever on the input. That's typically, but I know there are some companies, you guys do it. I think Vitas does it. Can't remember what other companies are the MOSFET solid state guys, but I would love to just send me something that's like 100 watts per channel or something like that, or 200 or something, and let me throw it in and listen. And I've got a Roland here I can compare it with. I've got audio analog. I've got Grandinote, and I can get a feel for where it stands, because I'd love a premier solid state, offering that is like a little bit more. If I'm imagining correctly, it's going to be a little bit. Your stuff is going to be probably more accurate than more of the. I have kind of musical sounding solid state right now, and I'd like to find something that is able to have a little bit more defined edge. Like I had some Viola Labs that was in here, and I can't even remember. They were also bipolar, but they were more just a cleaner edge, a little more definition. And I'd like, but those were borderline a little too much. So I'd love to suss out the amps, Amadeus. So we'll talk, buddy. I'll be in touch. Hey, Steven, what's up, buddy? Hey guys, what's up, Dave? Dave Mustaine. Musgrave, but it reminds me of Dave Mustaine. The explanation of Danny Wilson had me laughing just now. Yeah. I would, if I was him, I would do something like that. I would say, look how much better I do the speaker than they do. If, and maybe it turns out to be a good thing, like it's like, Saleen Mustang or AMG Mercedes or Brabus or, the modifiers, right? They turn them into these super things. So, and then maybe it would be a symbiotic relationship. I mean, quite honestly, that's how I'd go at it. So that you're, instead of being the enemy and of Wilson, you're actually, friends with Wilson, and you actually are their recommended dude for upgrades. That's, in my opinion, the way to do it. It's like I did with Magnapan. I was never there. We're buddies. I was never enemies with them. I love the product so much that I wanted to modify it and make it better in my perception. Peace, brother. You deserve a magical setup, bud. Yes, everybody does. Well, maybe the Martin could be matched with the better front end, perhaps. Yeah, it's not esoteric. It's yeah, man. It's amazing what some people put together. What did you think of the speakers from Spain, Chroma? I know him. I know oh shit. Dropping his name right now. I mean, I definitely know that we see each other and we shake hands. We know each other. Tom, Tim, Paul, and Esther. I remember her, his Filipino wife. She's really super friendly and cool and pretty, and he's a good-looking guy. Yeah, they're and the speakers are great, man. They're great. That room had too much bloom in it. It had some bass bloom. So I like the speakers at Capitol. I've heard them sound phenomenal. In this room this year at that show, there was a little bloom in the bass, and it was kind of like a mid bass bloom. So it was in low vocals would get bloomy, and this was, I brought the Tribe guy, Craig, came with, and I was telling him, I said, listen, and we played the song, and I said, hear how there's that bloom in there? And he said, yeah, you could hear it. And then we went to the next room. Okay, play the same song. Okay, now hear how it's hollow, right where that vocal was, like and so I gave him, he was able to learn how to listen really quick. It's like when you do wine tasting or coffee tasting, you can tell somebody what notes it has, and then all of a sudden they'll taste them, be like, oh, that's what that is. And you can help them learn really quick. Nice to meet Andy and Big John. Yes. Yeah, that was, man. It was great to have everybody together. I will probably retire with an ATC and an MPD8. Cool. I need to share some of my vinyl. Cool. Do it, man. Rips with you. I don't have a 50K table. Yeah, I know, man. That's what, that's what it would cost me at least if I got into it. And then I'd have to collect records. I don't even have one record. Or a Meitner MA3i. Love that sound, to be honest. Yes, it's very nice and very, see, the MA3i would have been perfect with what they had set up in that room, because that the way I felt with those speakers was tipped up a little bit threadbare, in some way. And so MA3 would have been perfect for that. DV2 maybe might have made it a little too much, I don't know, because I don't know the line all that well, but MA3i here, what I'm going to do is try MA3i with my horn speakers, because my horn speakers and the playback, they're a little too much, man. I mean, you see right into the music, but it's kind of overwhelming. It's like, holy shit, like it's too much of a good thing. So I'm going to put and I'm going to put MA3. I will figure MA3 out how to perfectly sell it. I just need to spend more time with it, and then I'll know exactly how to sell it. The Martin room sounded very good, but a sound system need to emotionally engage me. Absolutely. I need to feel the music in the heart. Otherwise, I'll not like it as much, for sure. Yeah. Next year, the show will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with Saturday being a full day. Saturday was a full day this time too. Thursday, Friday, Saturday makes more sense than Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How big is the difference between going from an AA DAC to MBD8? Depends on the rest of your system. If you have a world-class system, it's night and day. Any downsides? No way. Or equipment matching consideration with MPD8? Not at all. It's only better. It's only better. There's not one downside to the MPD8, period. There's no downside. Cost would be the only thing. Wow, Fisher & Fisher and Meitner will break people's minds. I would think so too. I just need to make sure it's not forward. I don't know the amps. So Amadeus, I'm going to hit you up for an amp, a stereo amp, and then I'll get a good grip on it. I'll be able to compare and get my bearings relatively quick. If you can, if there's one broken in somewhere, Let's see if the MTRS can go. Okay, cool. Thanks, buddy. Are the Jeff Rollins bipolar or something else? Roland is bipolar always. Same with audio analog is bipolar. And I don't know. I can't remember on the Grande Notes what he does. He does a weird circuit that is unique and patented. And I don't even know how I need to get a little more into the circuit. I didn't even get into the circuit design with him so much because I just said, just let me hear the shit. And then if I'm interested, I'll ask about the circuit. And then what's my other solid state? Well, Viola Labs is gone. That was also bipolar. The Playback Designs is bipolar. I mean, the majority of solid state amps are bipolar. I think because it's hard to get MOSFET right. I don't think, there's a few people that do it well, and I would be willing to bet that Meitner does, that I would put my money, I would hedge on Meitner doing it well, just based on their expertise. Back to you after Axpona. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll ride that out. Sure. That makes sense, buddy. Rashawn, MPD8 is amazing. It sounds great with everything. Got some amazing adaptive filtering going on. Yeah, I think maybe the pollen got to me, man. MPD8 sounds as good as vinyl or better. Absolutely. I haven't heard an MPD 8 yet, but I'm sold. Must get an MPD 8. Dano, I mean, look, I'll give you all your money back if it doesn't absolutely blow your mind. And look, what happened last time I said that? You know, did it work? Was I telling the truth? Are the Jeff Roland 625 S2 bipolar? They're bipolar, fully. Absolutely. Roland won't touch a MOSFET, man. If I can suggest you want bipolar done right, look at Soul Note. What is it? BJT is bipolar JFET? No. What is that? Yeah, I mean, I think Roland, Arun, you don't no, Roshan has 625 S2. So he doesn't need anything. And Soul Note is not as good as Roland. Roland is better. Soul Note is Marantz, brother. It's Japanese stuff, you know, not that it's bad, but it's not Jeff Roland. It is decent. We heard it. There's nothing wrong with it, but Roland's better, in my opinion. You're never going to be friends with a company like Wilson if you think you can do it better than they can. No, but there's a way to do it in where you're not like, I'm doing it better. It's like I'm tuning it for my client base, you know, for my enthusiasts. Like that's how I got. That's why I got along with Magnapan. They at first they were like, no, Mikey's changing our shit, and I was like, you don't understand. Like the reason I it's not that I don't like your stuff. Like they were like, oh, he doesn't like it. He's trying to make it, you know, he's trying to, you know, and I'm like, no, the reason I am spending time with it is because I love the brand and I love the speaker, the platform. I just want to fuck with it and change it. And so look at what they're doing now. They're doing the X series, which is like the same shit I used to do, right? In making the crossover out of better parts. So, and now they're doing it in-house. So it's just like having a car club, you know, like the Mustang guys or something, and everybody modifies their Mustang. Doesn't mean it, and the reason they do it is because they love the Mustang so much, not because they don't like it the way it is. Danny really needs to bring those speakers to a show and put his money where his mouth is, if he wants to. I would hesitate on using the word need. I would actually argue if we're gonna just for a quick little debate, I would say Danny needs to do nothing. He's selling anyways. He doesn't need to do shit. He can flip off the industry and go rogue, and it wouldn't matter. It would be nice if he showed up at the show. It would be nice because then we could see his stuff and we could applaud it. We you know, hearing is believing, right? That kind of thing. But he definitely doesn't need to do any shit. He doesn't need to prove anything to any of us. He can say, fuck you guys, take a hike, you know, and it's not going to affect him. He's still going to sell like crazy, man, because he's got his thing, man. He does well with it. I think it would be nice if he showed up because I'd like to see it. I'd like him to be part of the thing, man. You know, that's all. That's why I want him there. I don't think he needs to prove shit. He's already proven it. You know, he's already fucking selling like crazy. So he doesn't need to go. He does need to do that, Sean, but we all know he won't. He may or may not. I mean, you know what? I know I can relate to in many ways to wanting to flip off the industry and just not go to the shows. I don't necessarily need to go to the shows. I sell regardless. I sell all my stuff sells out regardless. I don't need to go to a show in order to sell anything. The reason I do it is to show why I'm different than other YouTubers. That's why I go to the show, just to show you, look, I'm not just a guy with pretty videos that talks. I actually can drop into a shit ass hotel room and do a great job. Like, and I'm gonna give you the chance to judge me against everybody else in this show, and I'm not afraid to. That's why I do it, just to give myself more cred, you know. If I was, you know, if I didn't have to do that, you know, I probably wouldn't. But I felt it's Not enough people know who I am. Now, the next thing I want to do or I feel is necessary is for me to get a big room and go against the biggest companies, to show how my product is superior than Borison, for instance. I've already told you guys that, and I know you guys believe it, but let me prove it. Let me go make a room. Then you guys go over to that Borison room that's $1 million, and then come over to my room that's 200,000 and tell me what sounds better. Tell me who's better at setting up a room in the big room. Okay. No holes barred, whatever. I'll go up against their $1 million rig because I'm willing to prove it, because I'm not just talk. I'll do it. But it's hard to get those big rooms for guys that haven't had one every year, you know. You'll be the first to shake his hand. Yeah, totally. You'll shake his leg. There you go, man. We'll chat soon. Okay, Amadeus. Thanks for the chat while I was at the gym. See you. All right, buddy. Good for you, man. Okay. See, Amadeus, I will reach out for a Meitner trial. Yeah, I think, well, where are you? Arun, you're my fucking customer. So if you need a Meitner trial, you need to call me. Don't be like, play by the rules. Yeah, I think unless you don't like me or some shit like that, then you can tell him I don't like Mikey, and that's why I'm coming straight to you. But Meitner doesn't sell direct, first of all. And second of all, I think you're my customer because I've already sold to you. So you're mine. You're mine, man. You belong to me. Yeah, I think we know it isn't going to happen, but I'd love to hear it. Yeah, we'll see. What tracks do you use for quickly assessing equipment at shows? I use Goose Slow Ready from Dripfield album. So Goose Slow Ready. I use that. I can tell immediately. I can tell how the vocal comes in. I can tell the decay on the piano. I can tell if I can hear him say a certain word that is very low in the mix. So, Badal from Yuva R. Raman. Okay, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Amadeus let me play it, and everyone was grooving. Oh, cool. Okay, that song. Okay, all I can think of is Felco. What's you mean not Felco, but I can't remember the name of that band. What we wearing tonight? Santos 100. I'm getting tired, man. I can't even recall. Santos 100 rose gold. Yeah, nice brushed rose gold with rubberized. What's funny is that bezel is rose gold underneath that freaking rubber, which is really wild. That's how the watch, in order to have integrity, they wouldn't put, like, say, a steel bezel with rubber on it, because it's the rose gold version. That bezel is rose gold and then covered in rubber. It's kind of a travesty, but it gives it a nice offset. It offsets it so it's not too blingy gold, but it's a wicked piece. Rock Me Amadeus. Yeah, somebody had to say it, didn't they? Bipolar junction transistor. Okay, so it is bipolar. I'm bipolar too. Yes, you told me the truth last time. That's why you have my trust. Can't wait to spend some dough. There you go, buddy. Zig said he'd like to hear Fisher. Is there any on Chicago that has a pair? Yes, and there will be a second one shortly. There's a guy that's got 670s in Lincoln Park. I think most brands can be tuned, tweaked for our own personal taste, and mods is difficult for corporations to do because they take a lot of time to do and voice a system really well. It can take years. Yeah, I mean, and they have to homogenize it so that everybody likes it. They can't go too far into one different. Can you speak to the sonic differences between Tad and Fisher? Yes, Tad is a little sweeter sounding, and Fisher is a little bit more like neutral or transparent. It's a little more clear window to the music. Tad is got a slight romantic thing to it. It's a little sweeter. They They both have good mid bass. They both do a good mid bass. And they're similar in many ways. It's just like one is a little, and they look different. And one is a stronger one is a value proposition, and one is a luxury buy, but the sonically, Tad is a little bit sweeter. We'll be home in 15 minutes. There you go, buddy. See you. I'm going to put these kids on a ramen diet so I can buy the Dream Tack. Nice, Cartier. Thanks, buddy. He's going to put the kids on top ramen packs. Can you speak to the sonic differences between Tad and Fisher? And okay, I just did that. And how does each interact with the MPD-8? They're both, well, the speakers and the DAC don't interact. Okay. The amp and the speakers interact. So the MPD-8 goes with every single speaker there is. There is no speaker that it doesn't go well with. So it's not the DAC. Like with the speakers, okay, I get what you're asking. You're asking that because I made the comment about using the Meitner with the horn speakers. The horn speakers that I have, to me, are a little bit, they're a little bit on the forward side. And so to offset that forwardness, I would team them with something like the Meitner piece, the MA3, because the MA3 is forgiving, whereby the MPD-8 does not cover anything up or does not make anything. It is accurate with a slight lean to the musical, to the suite. It has a very slight. It's because it's DSD, so it's extremely defined, but it's like in an organic analog way. And so with I could use an audio analog amplifier too for those. I'll figure those horn speakers out. I'll know what in my products, and then you'll see these up together in systems, and they'll be complete systems. And I'll know, like for instance, MPD-8, Fisher and Nat audio tubes go freaking, like, that's what I use every day. They're freaking phenomenal together. So I'll figure out what goes with the horns. The horn goes with the Meitner and the audio analog or something like that. And I'll put together the rigs and then I'll tell you why you want one versus the other. That's my job. That's what I need to do as a dealer, not just sell you boxes of things. I need to put systems together and then tell you why you want those systems for what. Thanks for the live stream. You bet, David. I got to go, man. It's 2 hours and 42 minutes. How would you compare the Fisher & Fisher to Zeloton? They're very similar. The Zeloton Solution Room at Southwest was outstanding. Another German speaker. Yeah, I mean, they're very similar. Complete visceral experience from the Fisher & Fisher. You turn Fisher & Fisher up, it is freaking outlandish. That's why I call it, I always refer to Fisher & Fisher. It reminds me of Aston Martin. If you've ever driven a Vantage, like a late model Vantage, the thing drives like, it's appointed. You get inside, it's luxury car, just luxury, beautiful leather wrapped, everything, suede steering wheel, all this shit, just stitching you see on the dash and all that shit. And then if you floor it, the Lion just roars, man. It comes alive like out of nowhere. You're just like, my God, what the hell is this thing? It's a freaking race car, and that's how the Fishers are. They're nice at calm, at low volumes. They're nice, but when you turn them up, it's like, holy shit, it's another speaker. It's like two speakers in one. You've got this animal on one end that is like, and it is refined. It is not harsh. Does not hurt the ears. You can turn it up and have a conversation with the person next to you and have it not hurting your ears. You're not yelling. There's very low distortion. So I would say Zeloton is a very close speaker. It's similar to Rockport. Rockport or Zeloton are the two closest things that I can say that sound like the Fisher & Fishers. But the Fishers are, of course, a lot less money. So perhaps one could say MPD-8 plus Tad would be a bit more analog than Fisher & Fisher, all else being equal because of the sweetness factor. It depends how you use the word analog. They're both because I'm thinking back to yeah, I'd need to know what amps we're talking about. If we're using the same amp. Yeah, I've only heard the MPD8. I mean, that would be the theory. Okay, that would be our theory. I'd have to apply that and then see if that's true. But yeah, based on what I heard, the it would be a little sweeter. I don't know that I would call it more analog because there's nothing unanalog about MPD8. But I'd say MPD8 and TAD, you wouldn't need to be as concerned about the amp. I don't know how to say. It would be but the Fisher and Fisher is it's not unforgiving. It's not like a Wilson or a Magico at all. It's like somewhere in between one of those and like a TAD, you know. They're so yeah, so it's a hard word. It's a hard word to use like that in context. There's nothing unanalog about MPD8. I think you said 300B tube amp with the horns. Yes, I need to find a proper 300B integrated is really what I want. I want a 300B integrated to team with the horns. I will definitely try that. But meanwhile, I'm going to try a musical amp like the audio analog and see how that works, because I haven't put that one up there yet with them. What Zeppelin song had the drum squeak? I Can't Quit You, Babe. Let's see. Let me find it right now and we'll see. I Can't Quit You, Babe. And then I got to go. This is it. You'll hear it right now. We'll see if we can. So I'm gonna put you down for a while. That's the one. I Can't Quit You, Babe. You'll hear a little quick, you know, for rig testing. That's it right there. I Can't Quit You, Babe. When I open the Zeloton webpage, I get like vertigo. That shit was a trippy video. I haven't seen it. You could try Copland amps with the horns, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll stick with what I have so far. I'm not looking for new stuff so much. I'm kind of I've got some huge Mach 8 speakers I need to bring in, man. I'm just getting loaded up with stuff. I have to slow down a little bit. But I'll figure it out, man. All right, man. I gotta go. I'm tired. I need to rest and not get sick. So, all right. Thanks. You bet, Roy. Take it easy, everybody. I will see you, and catch you up with you on Wednesday, day after tomorrow. I'll see you on Wednesday, 9:00, same place. And everybody, take care. Love you all. See you.